Hey everybody, welcome to Serpentine Text Adventures, our wonderful chat-based, completely non-visual. No, I'm kidding. Hi everyone, here we are. Just some lovely last-minute technical difficulties. Everything was going smooth right until we pressed the button. Anyway, I'm Commander Pulsar. Welcome to my little corner of Huntsman's Hydra. We'll be running a game that is in the process of Kickstarter fulfillment called Sword of the Serpentine. It is a gumshoe fantasy system, and if you're not familiar with the gumshoe system, I would recommend taking a look at Night's Black Agents, Trail of Cthulhu. They have a lot of great stuff there from Pelgrane Press. They are being very nice to us and sending us some fun stuff. There's a code for a discount if you want to get a copy of Swords of the Serpentine on the way to your house. Thank you, Nightbot and Ashen. And also they're very kind enough to give us to offer a copy of the game to give to y'all at the end of the show or during the show. So during break. Thanks, Ashen. Appreciate it. My voice is in my ear. Anyway, now I feel like a real TV personality. Anyway, I have someone talking in my ear. That's awesome. Anyway, we have a great group of people. I have an amazing cast, and I'm going to shut up and let them introduce themselves. I guess starting with Stephanie.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Allen of Charm Person Games. We're a professional game master for hire service based out of Baltimore. You can find me on Twitter at Charm Person Games. And tonight I'm going to be playing Lady Darren Lagorio.
I guess who's next in initiative order?
Are we popcorning?
Sure. Who are you passing it to?
Aki.
Oh, okay. Hi, my name's Aki. You can find me pretty much anywhere on the internet at It's Aki, which is going to get mistranslated to some sort of alcohol, because it always does. And I will be playing Pax, and my pronouns, as well as Pax's pronouns, are she, they. Kitty, you.
Hi, I'm Kitty, or Caffeinated Kitty. I can be found on Twitter at Wizardly Kitty, and I am playing Riona O'Kieran of the Fontavni. Your turn, Cole.
All right. And hi there, I am Cole, aka Ice Cold Brew. My pronouns are he, him, they, them. And you can find me on Twitter and Twitch and anywhere else at Ice Cold Brew. And tonight I am playing Witness Alwyn of Rance Pole, whose pronouns are also he, they.
Fantastic. And yeah, you may find me on the internet at Commander Pulsar on Twitch and Twitter, and my pronouns are he, him. The pronouns of the various NPCs are going to be their business, I guess. And that'll come up when it comes up. Anyway, I wanted to kind of get to introduce you to the city of Eversink, the jewel of the setting of Sword of the Serpentine, and to kind of set the scene a little bit for what's happening tonight. And we'll kind of start out way out in the Bay of Coins, the kind of the ocean, the giant gulf that Eversink is on an estuary of. And at the time, the camera will kind of come in on a sailing vessel, a merchant galleon, not by any means any kind of fighting ship, but the crew are fighting for their lives because the storm that they are sailing through is mean, strong, hurricane, winds lashing them, crew at the top of the yard arms trying to lash down sails so that the masts don't break. And the captain is desperately trying to keep control of the ship and to guide it towards the city. And we hear conversation between them and the first mate of, if we could just make it closer to the city, the blessing of the goddess will protect us. And there is just kind of that montage of sailing stuff. If you've seen episodes of Black Seas or things like that, kind of fill your imagination with people pulling on lines and tying things down, and rain slicked wooden deck just tilting in the camera like this, and kind of the occasional shot to tell you how dangerous it is to be up in the rigging, and etc. But as the ship gets closer to the city, the weather calms, the storm abates gradually. And as they kind of make it into the bay, can see the mouth of the Serpentine River and the kind of the swamps to the north and south, and the city rising out of the water like it was risen by the goddess 1,000 years ago, the land, according to the contract between the goddess Denari, the goddess of commerce and civilization, lifting land out of the swamp to put a city on. Here is the city, the New York, the London, the Lankmar of the world of Sword of Serpentine, the city of Eversink. And why is it called that? Because it does. Every building sinks a little bit all the time. About a story a generation, so there's constantly building. There's scaffoldings and work crews everywhere all the time. There are bridges and canals, and of course every building has basements and catacombs and connections, and who knows what's down there. Generations of rooms and old houses and funerary statues of the people who lived there. Because as long as someone makes a statue of you when you die, you go to heaven. And if something happens to that statue, bad things happen to your spirit. So no one ever throws away a statue, and they're everywhere. They're on bridges, they're on canals, they're in rooms. Sometimes they're small, sometimes they're big, sometimes they're ornate, sometimes they're just carved out of driftwood because that's what you can afford. But as long as you have a statue, you're good. And sometimes people deal with the spirits that aren't connected to statues. And that's some of our crew here. But as we kind of are looking over the shoulder of our sea captain at the city of Eversink, and the ship passes through the fishing fleet that feeds the city of Eversink. Ships that go out every morning, hundreds of them, to catch fish, bring them back to market, and of course, a large part of the diet of everyone in Eversink is some sort of sea-going, swamp-going, river-going fish. And we kind of move camera from ship to ship, kind of swooping over some of these fishing vessels. And the camera lingers on one of the fishermen on one of these fishing boats. It's a little small boat, crew of 5, but there's a fairly big, bulky fellow kind of hauling nets out, who we know or as a fisherman named Eel. And Eel, well, has been under surveillance by some friends of our group, a crew of urchin children, one of whom, named Shouty Tommy, is probably going to be reporting back to our intrepid heroes that Eel has gone out fishing for the day, at least, and should be back around 5 or so. And I suspect, where would we have gathered to receive Shouty Tommy's report? Would it be in the coffee house, or somewhere down on the docks, or someone there with a telescope to just kind of check things out themselves?
Probably not the coffee shop, because that's like a slightly nicer place, I would think.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe somewhere a little more in the shadows.
Sure.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, do y'all have a favorite food cart, or I mean,
shadowy would be fine with me.
Okay, sure, Darren. Yeah. Wherever it is, Darren's gonna be in an alley with a bridge over it or something, just waiting for someone to bring her something, and not. Don't let anyone know I had this hot dog.
Someone's got like falafels.
That's right. Can't be seen eating from a street vendor.
I mean, I like the idea of a food cart.
That's fair. I'm down. Yeah, I mean, I imagine there probably are some kind of not even Singanese, or maybe just from Erebus, more of almost a falafel, a gyro kind of cart with the shaved meat into flatbread. They probably don't call it a pita or a gyro, they call it something else, but every culture has some kind of fried dough and cooked meat, and they go together and make some kind of bun sandwich. So yes, absolutely a hot meat bun sandwich to go with your hot brown morning juice, or light or light brown morning juice if you prefer more of a leafy morning beverage as opposed to a beanie morning beverage, I suppose. Oh my goodness. All right, thank you. Did I got dipped out? Okay. Oh, I'm shocked.
I do like that. You have your choice of bean water or leaf water. No in between.
Essentially, yeah.
Yes.
Sure. Yes. Well, that it is a fantasy city, so we don't have like refrigeration or ice yet. So carbonation is a ways off. So we don't have Monster Energy drinks just yet. Until they sponsor us or something. So you get a G Fuel, get in touch. Whatever.
Yes, Cathilian. Bean water and leaf water are better than meat water.
I mean,
Gross.
I mean, you could probably get meat water out of the same falafel cart, right? The little steam
I'd rather
table.
not.
Anyway.
I'll pass on that. Thanks.
Just the meat water. That just sounds yucky.
All right, content
There's-
warning.
I imagine we're near a food cart and Darren's
Yeah.
like next to a building, not leaning on it. They're too dirty to lean on buildings down here. But in the shadows, not being seen, but watching and waiting.
Fantastic. I mean, yeah, because down by this part of the docks is a part of the city called Sag Harbor for a reason, because when buildings here sink into the water, they don't have to go very far. It is literally everything built on, and a lot of this part of town isn't even really buildings. It's boats that are lashed together, because at least they don't sink. Well, they do, but only once. And it's kind of those sort of flotilla sort of communities kind of built up around what little land there is, but it is far away from Alderhall and the really nice noble houses that Darren is used to hanging out in. It is also a long way from the Great Plains that Riona is used to hanging out in. Cole gets around, and Pax.
What?
Yeah, gets around the city. I mean, I don't know what Cole is used to. Maybe Cole doesn't even remember what Cole is used to.
I'm
But,
used to a lot of things.
There you go. Pax has to come here for work. That kind of. But yeah, when you're in pursuit of a possible murderer, you go where you have to, I guess. And for Pax, I guess enjoying their meat sandwich it's basically is next to her, at least next to them in their sensorium, I guess, leaning against the building, only also not really, is a kind of, I don't know, frumpy middle-aged looking fellow that no one else seems to notice. Given's he just kind of looks a little bit sad and jealous of your sandwich. I'm like, that actually looks really good. I mean, I probably can't taste it right now, but
Did you have
enjoy,
stuff
I
like
hope.
this before when you were here?
Well, I mean, our buns are kind of more of a longer shape, and the meat is pressed into kind of a triangular, and then we just kind of put it inside the and then you sauces over the top, and it's baked. But yeah, no, that looks interesting.
Good. Pax of the meantime is like standing there and like deconstructing eating it, because like, so it's the little wrap has been opened and they're just eating the little piece out of it. Just
Fair enough. About that time, someone walks right through Given, because they're a spirit. They're dead. This is the person that's actually hired, offered money to the crew in exchange for finding their murderer. And they've sort of narrowed it down to Eel, but they haven't been able to speak to or confront him about it. And at which point Shouty Tommy is like, so he's on a boat fishing, because get this, he's a fisherman.
Thank you, Shouty Tommy.
Thank you, Shouty.
You're welcome.
You can go now, Shouty Tommy.
You sure? Because I can tell you where they dock.
Maybe
I mean, where they're gonna.
don't yell it. Use your inside voice, please.
I am.
Okay, use your someone is trying to sleep next to you voice.
He kind of grabs one of the other urchins. To tell them that we can show them where the dock is. This is Shouty Tommy whispering. The other urchin's like, he says that the dock is, and we can show it to you if you're fair. Okay.
Thank you.
Sure. Kind of basically it as you will be kind of led down to where the the docks are, and the other kid basically said they generally come back around sundown and like immediately proceed to go drinking. And I need to take this call. Can we go on a quick break? This is work. I am so sorry, guys.
Oh no.
I know I have to because it's my folks. Apologies, everyone. Sorry, that is the life of a restaurant manager. Is that I am unfortunately kind of on call like a doctor, especially when it's your parents' business. So anyway, situation averted. But yeah, I guess my question is kind of getting a little bit of Eel's schedule, a little bit of how they spend their time, which is essentially go out fishing in the morning, catch a lot of food, bring it back, go drinking in the evening, mostly at bars, and spend a lot of time in a place called Fish Hall, which is the guild hall for the glorious association of attentive fisherfolk, also known as the Fishing Guild, a fairly powerful merchant guild in the city of Eversink because, well, they provide a lot of the city's food. But yeah, right back. Dang it.
Unmute. Okay, there we go. Hi, everybody. This is your friendly neighborhood producer here to vamp for a minute while Commander Pulsar. Oh, never mind. I think we're good.
Yep. While Commander Pulsar rebuffs someone at the door. No, Michael doesn't live here. And sorry, I don't have what you're looking for. Anyway, so yeah, basically, it's up in the morning. Something you do notice over a little bit of time, if you spend some time kind of getting this idea of this guy's pattern, you would know that from, yes, one of those Mercanti ally. And but yeah, he doesn't attend Denari church services. That's interesting. Darren, from probably talking to probably other guild people that you would know. I mean, not like the general folks of the guild. A Darren would know folks in the like guild masters and things like that, talking about what do you know about these folks in the Fisherman's Guild and things like that. And I've heard something about this guy named Eel, and he's considered a solid, dependable, deliberate fellow, not educated, but you don't really have to be to catch fish. He rents a room in the guild hall. He lives there. He drinks in the bar that's attached to it. So he's basically around that building and around that boat almost all the time. But yeah, the guild hall itself has been there forever. Yes, this is where I kind of throw it back to y'all. What do you want to do next? Because Given's like, okay, cool. We know where the guy. So I think that's him. I mean, well, I don't know. I'm just kind of been with you guys. I still don't remember because they hit me from behind. But
well, I think when in having those conversations with the guild masters, I would ask, like, does he take on extra work? Like, can he be hired for side jobs, basically?
I mean, you could. I'm sure you could ask enough. Coin would convince anyone, I imagine. But from what I understand, that the guild keeps him. I mean, it's fishing. It's daily, but I mean, again, enough coin that would be worthwhile taking a day off of catching fish.
Oh man, I don't want to pay through the nose for a worker, a laborer. But I've heard good things about him, and if he has a history of taking side jobs, perhaps at night.
Not that I'm aware of.
Interesting.
I guess someone else. And are you thinking? Would you like to put this to like? I'm trying to think. Maybe kind of. I feel like these are networking events, right? Almost, just kind of, particularly with the nobility and the mercanti and things, and because probably one of the few people that isn't there would be the guild mistress of the fishing guild. Because I mean, again, that's one of those. This is a pretty solid guild position. You don't really need to move up. No one's gonna. Well, who's gonna replace fishing? But yeah. I mean, I guess my question is, yeah. At what point do you go talk to him?
Well, that was what I was trying to get at. Like, if he is known to be hired for side jobs, then we could hire him.
Sure. He drinks in a public bar. I mean, that's also, there's several hours of that on the daily basis. He plays a popular game called Tack, which is played with wooden stones wooden pieces that you try and make paths and things like that. That's a bar game. Stuff like that. There's several ways to talk to him there. But yeah, I mean, you could offer to hire him, and again, promising an exorbitant amount of money is one thing. Delivering an exorbitant amount of money is something different entirely.
I can't approach him in there. I think I would turn to look at the rest and say, this looks like a job for one of you who can be seen in a place like this.
Who would want to go in? Who would want to talk to him?
Would depend on how my reputation is here.
I mean, you work with the guards, so probably not Pax.
I'll win it is, and I'll back him up.
Wait, what?
You've been recruited.
Volunteered.
I would. This like kind of very pale face, clean shaven, with like really short hair and like a vest and a big floppy hat, picks
Mhm.
like holds his cane and looks and goes, "Wait, what? What?"
You get to go talk to Eel, and I will back you up.
Yeah, sure. I'm great at talking to people. I'm great at, especially if I get into a bar fight again. Not knowing when that'll happen, but I know it'll happen.
Just get him to come
That's why I'm backing
outside.
you up. If you get in a bar fight, I can get you out of it.
All right. Yeah. Sure. That's fine.
Just ask him, make up some excuse to get him outside, Alwyn. You'll be fine.
Okay. Off the top of my head, because we've been like digging around for information on this guy, do we know
Sure.
what people he's been talking to outside of the Fisherman's Guild, or like where he goes
Almost
to
no
shop?
one. Almost no one. He doesn't. He probably it is entirely possible. I mean, of course, Shouty Tommy actually has notes. It's like possibly owns 3 of same outfit. Maybe wears same one every day. Not sure.
Mhm.
He does have a partner. The non-binary, non-gender specific. But yeah, they are more lean, shorter, fish on the same boat, that kind of thing, and frequently seen together. Also at the bar, so etc. Doesn't have a name on that person yet, but yes, so Eel does have a partner, but yeah, it's Eel doesn't go anywhere. He doesn't do anything. Eel fishes.
Do I know any old fish gods I could just like whisper the name of to catch his attention with?
Well, that would be, I believe you have some forgotten lore. That might be appropriate. I'm not saying a spend, but so yes, I mean you do know some forgotten. So tell me about a forgotten fish god that you. Why do? Yes. What is it? What is the deal with this fish god?
Ooh. Okay. I think so. This fish god is typically depicted. Squid's too common. I think they are depicted as having full shapen arms, a bit of like an underbite, and sharp piercing eyes that glitter silver underwater, and is known to have like a green and purple skin tone. This fish god can go into humanoid form, but most likely is seen actually in the form of a stingray instead. And they are the size of a regular fish, though, even in human form. Shout out to Menard for that one.
That's a big variety, because you got fish, and then you got whales.
You got like tuna fish size.
Those are big fish.
It's a big
They
fish.
are big fish.
Average size for a fish.
They would be real big fish if there was a trumpet section, but
Oh,
I'm
I'm just yeah, there you go. I'm just happy with the stingray with an underbite. That's good.
Yeah.
But anyway,
And their name is a long one, but it translates into the common language of today as he who swims in the moonlit shores and devours those who die beneath.
gotcha.
Yeah, I think that's the name I'm gonna go with, which is a long one. So,
Who
And,
dives beneath?
mhm. I think that's like the main fish god Alan just like stumbled upon.
Sure, that's the one Alwyn knows. That may not necessarily be all the fish gods there are, but there's one.
Mhm.
That's the one that Alwyn has at some point hyper fixated on and has information about, kind of thing. Sure, that's awesome. So fair enough.
Yeah.
What are we doing with this information?
Yeah, and
So you part of the surveillance, just to give you guys a feel for the bar. The fish, it's like a biker bar, except instead of bikers, they're fishermen. I mean, or like a cop bar. It's basically you go in there, everyone in there is a fisherman kind of place. It is not a high class bar. I absolutely understand why Darren is going to be like a block and a half away in a shadow under a bridge somewhere. I get that. Absolutely.
Actually, like next to a window in the shadow.
Sure.
So I could like hear if things go really bad.
It's not
Right.
immediately in front of it if someone gets thrown out the window.
Exactly. Well, my thing was somebody gets sick out the window, but yes, exactly.
So yeah, I think armed with this knowledge and hoping that it will work, I think they're going to walk in very feebly, just like cane clacking on the wood floor.
Mm-hmm.
And if they can catch an eye, see how empty Eel's drink is.
Okay.
And if it looks halfway empty or less than, he's going to buy 2 drinks from the bar and then walk over to Eel.
Okay. I mean, it is close. It is probably on the slightly fuller side than half empty, but it's, I don't think if you showed up with another one that he would have a hard time finishing it. So Riona going in with what's Riona's first impression? There is kind of a little bit of the whole entering the saloon sort of moment, where the kind of the camera focuses on Alwyn with Riona behind him, and
Fiona's probably taller than him.
very likely, maybe not taller than his pointy hat, but
Yeah.
but that's all. Like this. I'm trying to make an entrance here.
Just folds it over frontward.
So Riona's not gonna stick super close to him.
Sure.
She's gonna kind of act like a bodyguard because she kind of looks like it. She has, she's wearing short sleeves, so the arm that has the tattoo on it has got like a coiling vine all the way down the arm. That is visible. And she also has her facial tattoos. So she kind of looks tough. She's going to stay out of the way until she sees that Alwyn might need some help. And then she's going to step in.
Fair. I think the patrons are probably giving Riona a little more room to maneuver than they are Alwyn. Alwyn's kind of getting the beers and kind of this way up to where Eel is, but yeah,
Being like tucked under the armpit, just slapping people on the leg as
right.
they walk by.
Sorry.
He doesn't have like that server trick down where he can pick up 3 cups at once and just walks that way.
I mean, yeah, one wouldn't know where you'd learn skills like that, but it's just something you pick up every once in a while. And those who've worked in food service, anyway, we salute you, I guess.
Tip your servers, please. They need it.
Right. That's right. Try the veal. We're here all week, folks. Actually, all night. Not even all night. For a couple more hours, anyway. But anyway, but yeah, you make it up to the bar. And they get up to the bar and kind of plunk down these glasses. Of course, Eel just kind of pushes his flat cap up and kind of glances at the beer, glances at you, and go, "Yeah."
Well, hey there, friend. I was sent by a friend, and can I do a really quick flashback to have a religious symbol of Death's Beneath on me? I really want to think it's a stingray tail with like the really pronounced jaw on top of the tail.
Okay. I'm kind of liking this kind of monstrous combination of like stingray and anglerfish. kind of thing going on, which is kind of creepy and fun. I like it.
Mhm.
But yeah, he kind of looks at that and looks at you and goes, okay. So you like fish? You're in a good bar for that.
I find fish very, very fascinating. Flashback to think of a name. Hold on. Crow. Most people call me Crow.
Interesting. I was waiting for Mr. Bass or Mr. Goldfish or something, but yes, no, Mr. Crow is good. But yes.
Yeah.
Hi, Mr. Crow. Crow, I'm Eel.
Very nice to meet you.
Does a little bit of a handshake. It's brief, and then grabs the beer, finishes the one he has, and then kind of starts on the other.
For my own sake, does he have a slimy texture on his hand?
No, because he himself is not an eel and is not any kind of sorcerer that would cause problems like that. He is just it's one of those nicknames that stick when you go to, I guess, fisherman high school and fisherman vocational training and all that to become a professional fisherman. You get nicknames like Eel when you work on fishing boats, because you don't get, I don't know, lumber related nicknames on a fishing boat. No one's calling you tree topper or something, I guess.
Get called timber if you fall down a lot.
Right, that's the lumber camp guy. When we're chasing the lumber murderer, we'll get those guys. We're chasing the fish murderer today.
Oh God, actually, whole different thing. So yeah, Alan just like sips his beer and says, "Yeah, it's very fortunate that we've been able to run into each other. I think we have some very similar interests."
Really?
Yeah, we're both very big fans of the sea. We love the treasures below, and we all like to make sure we pay our debts.
Yes. You're hearing some suspicion in his voice, and on the other side of him, his partner, and they kind of just sit up, kind of finish their beer and set it down, and just kind of lean back on the bar. And like,
Darren's outside, just being like, "Oh God."
Oh. y'all decide to send me in. Y'all decide to send me in. You get to live with that.
Nope, it's all good.
Yeah.
No, Cole's not the player that'll push the button. That's no problem.
Y'all didn't watch Blades in the Dark, Fire in the Dark, did you? But yeah, and Crow's gonna look over at the person who's sat up straight and say, "One, do they match the description of the other person that killed Given?"
Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna look at them and say, I've also heard of you too. And I'm gonna say, we have a lot of interests, a lot of similar interests, if you know what I mean.
Are you a debt collector? Do we owe somebody? Gambling debts in arrears.
Oh God, I'm gonna kind of pull out the symbol again and say, we are helping to find someone. We're helping to appease someone. If maybe you went out somewhere by a swamp.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, now you're picking. Listen, I'm no good at this. I have friends of mine.
No, it's okay.
We are all part of the same idea. All of us want to do the same thing.
Are you okay? Are you trying to get him to get out of the bar with you?
Basically,
Would you like to maybe try? I think
this is a
perhaps
trustworthy
a
roll.
sway roll. If
Sway, I
you'd
can-
like to spend a point of trustworthy, that would absolutely add 3 to your sway, and would be very handy here. But I think you have sold me and done the RP on the sway, convincing them to go with me. I mean,
yes, I'm trying to get them to join a cult. Listen, there's a reason why I am bad at this.
Meanwhile, Darren was like, just ask him if he wants to come help you lift something heavy for some money. He's big and strong.
Poor.
He'll help.
But we could do that, or we could join a cult.
Listen, do we
Yes,
want to find
we
the murder,
don't
or do we
want
want to solve all of the murders?
Yes.
Would have
How
got him
about
outside.
yes?
Either way.
Yes.
If you look at this pamphlet I
Yes.
brought,
Yes, Cathalion, I love it. Yes. They're trying to get rid of him, like trying to get rid of Mormons. I'm sorry. Jehovah's Witnesses are at my bar. I've got to go.
Anyways, but yeah, I want to sway them to come outside and have a chat with
Fair enough.
my good friends who are also very interested in joining their fish cult. Do you want to explain to the chat how the roles work in the game?
Absolutely, we probably should. So the Swords of the Serpentine use 1 die, much like Dungeons and Dragons, only in Swords of the Serpentine, the die is a d6. And basically you have abilities that you can spend to increase your roll on the die. Target number on a lot of rolls is in the 3 to 5 range, 5 being very difficult, 3 not so much. Most of them average around 4. So you're rolling a d6 trying to hit 4. If you have an appropriate skill, that means you can spend points from that skill to increase your roll. You can spend 2 points, then your minimum roll is, for example, and those points refresh during the adventure. There's also stats that are called investigative skills, and those are areas of expertise, areas of knowledge. And if you're in a scene and have an appropriate investigator skill, that there is a clue that might have that skill might tell you something, you just get that information. Unlike many games where they kind of make you poke around and do investigative checks or alertness rolls or things to see if you notice the clue, you're a skilled investigator. You get that clue. Now, you can spend investigative points for other additional bonuses, but investigative points don't come back as quickly. They're once an adventure sort of deals, so they're a big spend. But the result is also big. So anyway, Cole is attempting to sway, which is to influence someone, and is going to spend some number of points, I think, maybe, to make sure
I'll
that
spend
roll goes
2.
well. Okay.
Let's see how Roll20 feels about me today.
Fair.
Modifier 2. The answer is not great. I got a
Okay.
3.
That's why
You
he's picking
did.
violence today.
Yes.
Keep in mind, that means I rolled a 1 and I got a +2 on my roll.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one of our house rules is that you may spend additional points if you want to, but after the roll, it costs twice as much. So if you'd like to get that to a 4,
I
which is
would.
probably what you need.
That means it's what I need. I'm pushing that to 4, please.
Yep. So fair enough. So that's a total of 4 points spent out of that pool. So yeah, that's fine. But yeah, with a little awkwardness, shock and surprise, Alwyn manages to get them to come. It's like, look, I'm not doing this on an empty stomach, so let's get another beer for the road and we'll talk about it outside.
All right, yeah, sure.
And
I'll buy.
so there's your extra points, right? It's like, okay, yeah, all right. It's picking up 3 more beers from the bartender. Have you had any of the beer? Have you drank any of this beer along with Casimir and Eel?
Yes. I
'Cause
imagine it tastes like a really bad Pilsner.
Yeah. It's yes. It is. Yeah,
It's like
it is
mid-Bud
kind of
Light,
a
but worse.
kind of in the whole, maybe in the Keystone Hams region of not great natural light. Only made with well, the water here is off of a swamp, so it's got a definitely kind of a peaty taste to it. So yeah, things that you don't want to be peaty. Beer. But anyway, it's not great. So maybe yours is lasting a little longer than theirs, but yeah. And kind of sort of moving towards, I guess, outside, or they don't start moving to the door you came in though. They start moving the other way. Going with?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Quick question. I have liars tell. Are they gonna ambush me? They're gonna like flip around and be like, haha, I got you.
They, from what you can tell, they don't appear to be deliberately luring you out. No. There's more of a, don't know what this guy's deal is, but he's buying, and if nothing else, we'll be able to come back in and laugh about it. So sure, whatever, let's humor this weirdo. And because there's definitely we could probably take him if we need to kind of vibe going on there too. So
Riona is not going to let him out of her sight.
Fair enough. I was just going to ask if you're kind of getting up and following in, and
Yes.
have you procured a beverage of your own? And
No.
and okay, fair enough. There's at least one fisherman's like, would you like me to buy you a drink?
No, thank you. Maybe later.
Pushed me. Moving, get me out of the way. Like, oh, fair enough. Good deal. But yeah, okay, fair. You make your way kind of through the crowd, and is there a signal for Pax or a Darren, or and if we need to, this can be a thing. If we could just say yes, probably, and go on and say we'll figure it out in flashback, that's also okay.
I just
I
assumed
know
I
they're
was
in-
listening through the window.
Yeah, I would
Yeah, fair
assume
enough.
they had some sort of signal that
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Well, I imagine
let
as
them know
soon
we're
as-
moving.
I'm sorry. I would love.
Yeah.
I really love if everyone thinks there's a signal, but everyone has a different idea of what the signal is.
There's
you know,
I'm literally just listening to him talk through the window.
Love it. You're probably also getting several other conversations,
Yeah.
but that's, I think that is part of the sorceress sphere you've chosen, that kind of you can compartmentalize and file some of that stuff away if there's interesting side conversations and things like that. That's
I got shadows
Magic
and
can-
secrets.
yeah,
Nothing
magic
hides
can
from
help with
me.
that.
Mhm.
Magic
Now-
can help with that. So yeah, but Pax.
I have an idea. How
Yep.
how many stories is this building? Is it like a one-story thing, or I could probably hop a couple boxes and get on the roof in a way?
Mm-hmm. Actually,
Okay.
yes, probably, yeah.
Sorry,
I'm fine
Pat.
with that. Yeah, at least part of it is.
Okay.
It may be like taller in the back near the kitchen, so you may need boxes to hop up there or something, or
Okay.
figure it out.
We'll figure out when we get there.
Athletics roll if necessary.
Well, that should be fine. But Pax, visually, it is about 4'8", little non-binary individual, with a shaved head, and is dressed in a black coat. Well, they're dressed like this,
Yay!
with a little purple vest under a black coat.
Checking
And-
off my amigurumi on screen bingo box.
It had to come up eventually. It was made for this reason.
That's why there's a bingo box.
But is it possible for me to use my spirit sight to sense Alwyn, since Alwyn is also a little sensitive?
Oh yeah,
Okay, I would kind of like to
you
be on the
have
roof
got very
and kind of
powerful
like
spirit sight. You can detect people's spirits before they're dead. It's okay.
I'm basically gonna single out Alwyn, and then wherever Alwyn goes, I'm gonna just kind of like creep along the roof above
Sure.
wherever Alwyn is. And if I have to hop over above the kitchen for any reason, I'll do that when we get there. But basically, I'm just trying to stay on top of, literally stay on top of wherever Alwyn is heading, just in case this goes bad.
Fantastic. I'm loving the Assassin's Creed moment here. Yes.
Can I do a little narrative note?
By all means.
So, with your spirit sight, if it looks kind of like that eagle vision from Assassin's Creed, you see like a slight off-kilter version of what would be Alwyn, a little bit closer to the cane that they're walking with.
I imagine it's something I may have seen since before.
Mm-hmm.
So just kind of that's
kind of weird double vision around. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps Pax is attributed to Alwyn's sorcery, or I don't know.
That's pretty much what Pax is. That's probably just some side effect of sorcery. It's okay. Yeah, we'll just ignore it.
I mean, yeah.
Don't worry about it. It's okay. I won't tell anybody.
Yeah, when you have a certain amount of corruption in the Holy Church, it's just, there's side effects. It's okay. If it lasts for more than 4 hours, call it free.
Go to your local healer.
Yeah.
That would be me.
That would be you.
I think Alwyn is walking to the back with them. And, just kind of says, but it's really nice to be able to talk to y'all. How was your day? How's everything been going? How's the shore?
Wow, good catch.
Okay, good.
Your nose is kind of becoming numb to the smell of fish, but it is something that is just ever present, not only in the whole section of the city of Sag Harbor, but absolutely in the fish bar connected to the Fisherman's Guild Hall. These folks are around fish 24/7 just about, and they smell like fish and fish guts, and just, there's definitely a briny, oceany aroma. And there's we've been fishing. It was a fine day. We caught, I didn't keep track of how many, we weren't counting the fish. There were lots. The city is not going to starve.
For sure.
Why?
No.
What?
I'm asking about your day. I'm trying to be polite.
You've been polite. You bought us drinks.
Yeah.
But now we're out in the alley, and I'm really tempted to beat the reason out of you.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. So I'm going to look around. Quick question. Are there statues around?
Yes. The answer to that question is almost always going to be yes. There is probably
there's also shadows in Denari too. So.
Yeah.
There are shadows around. Yes. On the roof, there's a small shadow.
Yeah.
There's probably some kind of thump in the kitchen of somebody that accidentally got in Riona's way.
They're about to be cornered.
Excellent. So the reason I wanted to bring y'all out here is because I saw the body. I know y'all took the heart. I know what that heart does. I also know that my friends would be interested in more about that. I think it'd be very interesting if you sat and talked with us, and maybe if you would be so kind as to tell us why you did that and who you did it for, it would help me out in the long run.
I'm sorry. This is the shorter non-binary and whose name is. I'm sorry. And Casimir, you had a question? And Casimir goes, yes, I do. I need you to be very specific. When you say the heart, because we gut fish all the time. Would you like to be specific?
Yeah. Oh, God. I'm trying to decide if I want Alwyn to take. Yeah, I put down Alwyn's reckless. I'm going to clack the cane on the ground, and I'm going to have the statues move up and grab both of them.
Okay. So now we go to basically initiative. That's going to be a sorceress attack. It's definitely, I think in this case, a surprise. So that's good. For you anyway. Not so much for them, but that's, you know.
Pulling up the cheat
I-
sheet.
Yeah. Yes, it is a new game, so we do have some cheat sheets and things like that. So yes, but the surprise is essentially going to be your stealth modifier versus their alertness. But that's I don't know if you're going to get surprise here. I think they're basically expecting some kind of shenanigan.
Yeah, but do they expect the statues to come to life behind them?
Well, I mean, not that. No, I'm not saying that they won't. That you're not going to be able to make an attack. I'm saying that you won't. They're not necessarily going to get. You're not going to get a huge bonus on them for them not expecting something, right? That's
Okay.
more of a. That's more of a. You know, they feel like they're safe at home, and then suddenly, you know, I don't know, Denari SWAT troopers bust in the windows, pointing wands at them or something, which is not a thing that happens in this game. So don't worry about it.
Excellent.
Anyway.
I think they were probably expecting to be attacked, just not by statues.
Right, yeah, exactly. Pretty much, yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, they were expecting you to throw a punch, not that one of the other statues would come alive and grab them, kind of thing. So
Also, quick logistic
you-
question: do we heal up from last session?
if you were, because it's been a couple of days for you to figure out Eel's pattern and stuff like that, so you would have rested and
Okay, great. The fish bite on my butt is healed. That's good to know.
fair enough.
Forgot about that.
Your body's
important.
healed, but the pride will never
Yeah, I
heal.
forgot that happened.
That implies
It's been-
Alwyn had pride to begin with.
It's fair. It's fair. It may have been a couple of days of not really sitting down, but yeah.
But hey, only
But
three other
yes.
people knew about it.
Right? There you go.
Or Tomrin was there.
That's
oh
right.
yeah, and a ghost. But who's the ghost gonna tell?
Mhm. All right.
Yeah.
So, if I am going first, what I would like to do is put a maneuver on both of them, and that maneuver
Okay.
is restrained by statues.
Restrained.
Basically.
Okay. All right.
so
So
do
it's still going to be an attack against their health threshold, right? So
Mhm.
so all right, you're going to be rolling with sorcery.
Excellent.
And threshold is probably what you think it is.
Mhm.
And would you like to spend any points of sorcery to do this?
Yes. Because I want to make a maneuver, do I need to spend corruption to do that?
No. I mean, this is a thing you can put a maneuver on someone without having to use magic. So, or without, anybody can put a maneuver on someone. It's
Okay.
not a magic specific, so you can just use sorcery. Now, if you want to spend a point of corruption, you can.
I'm good. I'm gonna swing in with the
So here's my
spending-
question though: to get 2 of them, you're going to have to beat the threshold by at least 3 to get an additional target.
Gotcha. Well, instead of spending the 4, I'm gonna spend 6. Because I really want to catch
Okay.
them both.
Got it? Very good.
All right, rolling. I got a 10.
Roll that magical bean footage. Perfect. Okay. Well, the threshold is 4, so that beats it twice. So if there was a third person that you wanted to grab with the statue, you can.
I want to grab the cook from inside and bring him out.
What do you know?
What do you know?
Tell me. A secret stew recipe.
It's just all fish. It's just all fish.
The secret ingredient is fish. Anyway, but yes, okay. So yeah, so I roll damage because that's going to determine what they basically need to decide whether they're going to take that damage -2 or be restrained.
And that's another D6 plus how much?
Well, it's a D6 plus 3, and the minimum you can get on that D6 is 6 because you spent 6 points.
Okay.
So I'm thinking maybe the roll may be moot, and we just go with 9 as the total, or they would either take 7 points of damage. So that's how. Okay, so putting maneuvers on someone in sort of the Serpentine, I like because it is not. It doesn't take agency away from the person the maneuver is being put on, and that it works when an NPC tries to do it with players. because that player always has a choice, particularly when it's like influencing their opinion, or we don't want to get into there is sorcerous mind control and things like that can happen. And rather than having to sit and play this, I am mind controlled to attack my friend, you have a choice. You can always say, nah, I'm going to exert some willpower and take damage instead. So that's kind of the situation that Alwyn has put these NPCs in. They're either grabbed by statues, or they have to take some amount of stress, of damage, to narrowly avoid that, or whatever. Maybe some clothes are ripped or things like that. And I think in both of their cases, they are in fact going to take the 7 and not be happy about it. I'm going to put that down.
Cool. But but overall, they're just now restrained, right?
If they choose, no, because if they choose to take the damage, then the maneuver doesn't restrain them. It's one of those that they basically are grabbed and kind of rip themselves out of that grasp and take damage in the process.
Gotcha.
So kind of help me visualize that, because I mean the grabbing is successful, but there's a certain amount of, dude, what the heck, get this off of me, and they manage to get out of it but not without taking a certain amount of damage and stress. So, so what do you feel like that's looking like?
Yeah, so I think we walked a little bit into the alley just so this way people aren't listening into our conversation. And Alwyn,
I'm just saying these are probably statues that may not be all in the alley, or maybe they're on the top edges of the building. So the first surprise is the statues kind of going jumping down into the alley. That's cool. Right behind them and grabbing them. Yeah, I love it. Yeah,
I think it's just these two statues jump down, grab them, and one has a very a feminine looking face and is wearing has a really big smile, a very sweet, serene smile that kind of looks a little bit more creepy now that you're being grabbed.
Yep. And they're real smooth. These are sea weathered wood. Mm-hmm. Not like driftwood, but carved wood, but it's been, in the bay for years and years kind of thing. So it's kind of worn down smooth. But and the kind of that creepy little, I love it.
And the other one is a short-haired person with they really pronounce the goatee on this person to where it's a sharp point. And they're wearing the equivalent of just a very nice robe, and they both jump down, grab them, and try to basically do the bear hug arm, where you contain their arms, they can't really move around.
Sure.
But I imagine both of them duck down at the same and mirrored movements.
Lever. Eel is very strong, so there's a point at which basically to get out of this hold, he's kind of gone down a little bit and arms up like this and literally lifts that statue off the ground to get it over his head and off to the side.
It's good to know.
Good to know. Huh. Okay.
Casimir, on the other hand, is yike, and just kind of slides out.
Alwyn would know Rihanna is falling behind them and goes, Rihanna?
The signal.
You can pick me. I'm one thing and I'm ready. Riona's not, so
Then Darren, you get to go next while Alwyn is shouting, Rihanna.
Cool. So they've broken the hold. Have they taken a step in any particular direction, or are they just still standing there?
Not real. No, they haven't had a chance to. This is just kind of basic a reaction to this and kind of the action of choosing not to get grabbed. So
cool. Yeah. I am going to step out of the shadows because I'm a little annoyed about all of this now. And I'm just gonna reach out and I am going to grab Eel's head and tilt it down so that I can stare directly into his eyes. And I would like to use secrets to know what he knows. Just rip it right out of his mind.
Okay. geez, I'm not. This may need some corruption. I'm not sure this is something that. I'm not sure this is something a general role would convince them to. Because I mean,
it's definitely magic. Yeah, like. But...
Oh no, but I mean, that's one of the things again. This is for the audience. Another thing I like about Gumshoe is that sorcery is fun and cool because anything that you can do. I mean, you'll use any skill roll. You can flavor it as something you're doing with sorcery, right? Like anybody can get up out of their chair and shut the door, turn on light a candle or whatever. So a sorcerer can do the same thing and just flavor it with magic and not actually get up. They just, the door closes, the candles flick on. But any regular skill roll, you could even flavor as sorcery. Where someone else might have to parkour to jump from one building to another, a sorcerer can just float on their magic or whatever. They're still making the same athletics roll, but it looks different, right? But really powerful effects use an investigative ability called corruption. And when corruption gets spent, things get fun. Anyway, so I'm thinking, but I know from what I know about the character of Eel that even a really good sway roll is not going to convince him to divulge everything. But so maybe just a regular skill roll won't do it. However, you have that extra option. How much corruption would you like to spend? 0, 1, 2.
I'll spend 1.
Okay.
Spend 1 corruption because I only have 2. So actually, we've
Fair
got a
enough.
lot of refresh tokens, don't we?
We have
refresh
a total
tokens
of
can't
6.
be used. They can't be used
Not
on
for
investigative
investigative
abilities.
Darn.
But this also ties into your right, which is to find out things you're not supposed to know. One of your
Yeah.
drive, the things that are best in life. And
Thrill of
one
knowing
our
what
house
I'm
rules,
not supposed to know.
thrill of knowing what you're not supposed to know, and that that's one of those things that with your drive, and this is one of the house rules that we've kind of come up with during play, is that once a game, for you each get 3 drives, so once a game per drive, so up to 3 times during a story, you can get a point of investigative refresh back if it ties to your drive. So you can spend 1, you could use your drive to get it back, because I think this would, if you feel like you need to. Anyway.
Yes, I want to use 2.
You want to use 2 of them?
We'll use 2. I have 2 corruption. I mean, I might as well, right?
Well, I glance over at Pax, our
Team cop.
kind of our policeman. I have 3 sorcerers and their parole officer, essentially.
I've never been caught. I don't have a parole officer. Thank you.
Pax the entire time on the roof is just watching this happen, going, "Oh,
yeah, right. I mean, just yeah, because again, Spirit Sight 3, you can feel it. You can feel it. To be honest, I'm going to say that spending 2 is unnecessary if you don't. I mean, you'll get what you need from 1. Because you could spend it, then get it back, and then have a full pool for later if you want.
Sure. All right, then we'll do 1.
You can spend 2, but I think you'll still enjoy the result from 3.
Okay.
Anyway, so I feel like, okay, this is also putting a maneuver in a way of tell me everything I want to know, and otherwise I'm going to do a whole lot of damage to you. Morale damage. In this case, I feel like, if I remember right, morale your secrets hits morale.
Okay.
So still gonna roll damage, but I suspect we're gonna do the investigative point spend of corruption for extra incentive here, correct? Does that feel right?
I don't know what
So
you
we're
mean
gonna
by incentive to
well, they either take an additional d6 of damage or do the thing.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Yes, that's what I want to do.
Fair, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Yes. Okay. Fair enough. So, still want to roll some sorcery. Their morale threshold is the same as their damage threshold is 4. So,
I have a lot of sorcery.
to get a critical hit on this guy, you need to beat that threshold by 5. So you would need, in this case, a 9. But if you do, If you do, that'll get you 3d6 in a game where people have like 10 hit points. So
That's a lot.
I mean,
I
you know.
have so much sorcery. I'm gonna spend 5.
Okay.
So I roll my d6 and add 6
5 to
because
it.
there's always a 1 with sorcery.
Right? Yes. The sorcery's
Okay.
+1. You are correct.
So it's 2 + 6 is an 8.
Okay. Not quite a critical hit, but that still is 2d6 plus, 2d6 plus 1 for the sorcery. Minimum of, you spent 5 on the thing. So yeah, minimum of 5. So I guess, yeah, if you want to use roll 20, if you want to roll some d6s, do that. Roll 2d6 and 2d6 got 1.
The dice came up at 9 plus 1 for sorcery makes
It's 10.
10.
Okay.
So
So yeah, all right. You kind of get into his head. There is
yeah,
kind
just
of a
like
little bit of
pull
a
him down as he's staring directly into my eyes. Like just
and
like
yeah.
frightened.
So I mean, does he see just shadows come around and just kind of like?
So Darren
How
has
creepy
black
is
eyes.
this?
Darren has black eyes as well as black hair, and I think that his she does the magic as soon as they make eye contact, so he doesn't really have time to see her properly. And his entire field of vision just completely narrows onto her eyes. And I think no one else sees this, but to him, it looks like the black floods her entire eyes. So there's no sclera left anymore. And it feels to him like he's just falling forward. He's just falling down and forward into a black pit. And I think that's all he knows. And I'm able to get in there and I'm looking for what he knows about Given. Was he hired to do a murder, or did he just murder this person? Does he know anything about that swamp with all the bodies and the bones in it?
Okay.
Anything related to any of that?
Nice. I'm kind of mad at Moon Knight for stealing the whole now you're suddenly in a psych ward moment. But anyway, there are flashes of scenes and of him and Casimir knocking somebody over the head, dragging him to the boat. It's not Given, it's somebody else. And another scene, and another, and another, and they just start coming really, really fast until instead of kind of being a it's almost like stop motion of them doing the kind of the same boom, only the body changes. And just over, of course, it's always dark. It's always like a new moon kind of dark night. And but yeah, and another flash of Eel here, but from behind, you still recognize his head. You've got it in your hands, but getting tattoos that are on it that if you take his shirt off, you'll be able to see. But
Like a tattoo per body, tattoo per victim.
It's
kind of thing?
it is a tattoo of it's there are like tally marks, and do you have my reminder? You have laws and traditions. I know Pax says. I think Pax maybe.
I have corruption, forgotten lore, scurrilous rumors, charm and nobility, prophecy.
Hang on. Shoot. Now I can't hear anybody. One sec. Technical difficulties, everyone. My apologies. Scheisse.
It's a brand new show. We're working things out.
Midstream.
We forgot to charge things. It happened. We've all got ADHD.
That's why I have options for plugging my headphones in.
I just leave my charts whenever they're not on my head because the charge cable's right next to where I hang them.
Yes,
I am tied up in wires.
I have been prepping for this game with these headphones on all morning, and so yeah, maybe I was listening to too many of y'all's playlists. But anyway, yeah, if you had, there will be a little bit more information when you can discuss this with Pax. But yes, he's
And I've
got
got prophecy and scurrilous rumors. I don't know if those would apply here. But, and forgotten lore. But
scurrilous rumors. Let's see.
Disconnected.
Yes, speakers are. Yes, you're disconnected. You should be powered off. The big speakers want to know why I'm not listening to them. It's like I have headphones. They're jealous. I don't know. There we go. Yeah, the tattoo is it. You see it being made. The tattoo is labeled "Heroes of Eversink," and it has. You have time in this vision to count them. There are 123 hash marks on it.
okay.
The last one is the newest.
Do I get any like why? Why are they doing this?
Yes, that Eel does go to church. He doesn't go to Denari's church. He goes to church at the Fishing Guild.
Excellent.
There is a god. There is an altar under the church, under the hall, in the basement. And yes, that Eel thinks Eel is doing this to save everyone in the city. A small sacrifice once a month to feed hundreds of thousands of people. You can tell he feels bad about it. He drinks because he feels guilty about it.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't want to kill anyone, but he also doesn't want the city to starve.
Worshipping gods besides Denari is allowed, right? Within Eversink? Like it's not illegal? It's just that people think it's, they kind of frown upon it.
Flip that. Flip that.
Okay.
It's very illegal.
Oh, it's very illegal. Okay. Excellent.
It's illegal, but it happened. Just, don't no neon signs saying fish god services here Wednesdays, kind of that's.
You murder 123 people, you can no longer turn a blind eye to your worship.
But that's over 11 years though,
the people who could be generating profit for Denari.
That's the thing. So you're in his head. He thinks the Triskadane knows. He thinks that the city's ruling council is aware, and they're letting it happen. I mean, in Eel's head, I'm just maybe there's a scene in that head of Darren behind Eel's chair so he can't see her. Just the completely dark room with the one light on. It's they have to know. How could they not know? I mean, you're not wrong. 123 people, and I'm not the first executioner.
Excellent.
But yeah, I mean,
yeah, I'm gonna also, while I'm there, just grab everything I can about who actually shows up to services for the fish god, who is worshiping, how high up, how widespread. I'm pulling names and faces and cataloging that in my head.
You know the high priestess. It's the guild mistress,
of course,
Juliana of Fish Hall.
Juliana what of Fish Hall?
Juliana Fish Hall of Fish Hall.
Also, I'm sorry, you're not saying this, but every time you say Juliana's last name, you break up right then. The game is interfering with us.
That's apparently.
No, that's not the name.
It can't be said. It can't be said out loud, apparently. Yes, no one must know. It's Juliana Fish Hall of, Fish Hall, one word. Juliana Fish Hall of Fish Hall. Spelled Fishhall. And Fish Hall is spelled Fish, capital Hall. Yep.
Right. Excellent. Yeah. So
I mean, The guild's
grab
been
as
in the
much
family for
dirt
a long
as I
time.
can. Yeah, like just as much dirt as I can while I'm there on as many people as possible. Because
Okay.
very useful.
And yes. All right. Now, the question of what to do with this corruption.
I will internalize it.
Okay, thank you. Though this would be a great time to externalize and just see what happens.
Please
So,
no.
Again,
I'm
for
trying
those,
to stay on Denari's good side for
Right?
now, at least.
So using sorcery is bad for the city. There is that's why the sorceress investigative ability is called corruption. It literally damages the world if you let it out of your person. If you don't let it out of your person and internalize it, as Darren has done, it will change you a little bit and subtly. And over time, well, there's a reason why really, really powerful ancient sorcerers wear hooded robes and are not seen in public much, because
It's a reason the only skin you can see on a Darren is her face and neck and her hands. You cannot see any other skin.
Yeah. I mean, famously Ningobble of the 7 eyes. The other 5 eyes just kind of showed up. And the fact that they wander around their face, well, that's a thing too. On the other hand, they got a lot of powerful use out of sorcery for that. So, okay.
Fine.
It's a choice.
Fine.
It's a choice.
Nothing's free.
But if you externalize it, it damages everyone around you and the very fabric of the city itself. And makes PAX sad. So leaving the most important reason for last, obviously.
So I have to make a health.
But yes.
Check.
Oh, I love it. And from outside, basically, a Darren slips up out of the shadows, grabs Eel by the head, and just goes.
Yeah, it
"Ah!"
just like tilts him down. And I think
tilts
Eel's
him
like
down and
face just goes like blank. Just like
Very
fully
white.
blank. Yeah.
Yeah. For a moment, just like slack, and then just pale and.
So this is the difficulty is 3 plus the amount of corruption I spent, which is 1. So it has to be 4. It's the amount of health that I have. Do I spend it the same way I would any other roll, right?
For a health check, yes. You can spend health like you would a general ability. Yeah.
Right. Okay. I'm just gonna spend 2 because I don't have a lot of health to go around.
Sure. Yeah, that's the other side is you can also knock yourself out with too much corruption.
Oh hey, I got a 6. So that's an 8. I succeeded. Yay.
Yay, okay. So you
So I
do not
take
take
minor
additional health.
cosmetic corruption that people would have to go searching for.
Nice. Fair enough. Good. So yeah, a tiny, patch like, between the toes or something is gonna.
The toes are all full at this point. It's that one
Yeah.
patch that's like growing on like my ribs or something. It's got
There you
another little scale there now.
Yep. Yeah, Darren, not getting pedicures in Eversync. No. Fair. Love it. Very good. But for that brief moment, so who are you passing it to in initiative order?
Are either Riona or Pax like dying to go? Because I kind of want to pass it off to the partner.
He can go. I was
Go ahead.
not thinking of what to do. I was busy listening to you.
Yeah, I have an idea, but it kind of like, but it could probably be better more of as a reactionary thing to
Okay.
them.
All
so
right. Then I'll pass it
They can
off
go
to Eel's partner.
To Casimir. Fair enough. All right. Casimir is kind of very concerned about A, where the F did she come from? B, what did she just do to Eel? And C, they whistle. A kind of almost kind of a bosun whistle kind of
Really
something I
shrill
cannot
kind of
do.
whistle.
Yeah, like calling for a cab kind of thing, and off their belt draw one of those cargo hooks that kind of come out from between the knuckles. And who to swipe at? Eel not Eel, Alwyn or Creepy Lady? Yeah, weird bar weirdo or creepy lady.
I mean, I'm
I'm-
right on top of Eel, so
Yeah, there's that, and also a little frightening. So I think they're gonna swipe at Alwyn. I do have to mark off that they spent some of that malice, and going to another. Okay, that is going to be a 7 to hit Alwyn, which is not a critical hit, but
It's close. A hit.
All right, and it will do 7 points of damage. minus any armor you may have.
I have no armor. What is armor?
You have an ability. You have Forgotten Lore, do you not?
I do.
You have preparedness, don't you?
I do.
Would Alwyn have thought to put up maybe a protective ward?
I was gonna say probably not, but no.
And I kind of surprised him with the Alwyn's doing it.
Yeah, I think Alwyn did not.
But it doesn't.
they
I
were
mean,
going
it doesn't take much though. You could have thrown up that ward when you exited the building. I mean, like maybe I would say, I'm about to grab them with statues. Maybe I should also ward myself. Is probably a reasonable train of thought.
Yeah.
You've got the preparedness to say that it had happened. You still would need to
Spend the
Forgotten Lore to do the ward, but
because here's the thing: if I take that hit full on, I go straight to 0.
that doesn't necessarily mean you're hurt. That means you are at the very end of I'm no longer hurt. Anything else is hurt, and I'm taking penalties and damage and bleeding. And so, yeah, that is exactly correct. You can either way. I'm just offering the ward as an option that you can do, and you have the combination of stats to say yes. This is a thing I would have prepared.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say yes. Let me pull up the rules.
I mean, you started this fight. I gotta imagine you wouldn't start the fight without preparing yourself for it.
Yeah, and I think what it looks like is Alwyn, just really quickly, walking up with their cane, like holding their hand, spinning it, and just like whispering, "I need someone here," under their breath before they decide to pop off the idea of like, okay, yeah, I'll grab them. This will work. And I will spend 1 point on myself for point blank range. And so how much damage does that block?
Okay, so with a ward, it's subtract any armor or grit first, and then divide the rest by half. So if you have any armor, take that off. If you don't, okay, so it's 7 divided by 2, round down, half of
It'd be 3.
3, yeah, 3.
Yeah. Okay, so
which
I'm
is
at
still
4.
probably a palpable hit.
Yeah, I think what this looks like is Alwyn whispers that, and the first ghost and spirit comes nearby and stands next to them, and unfortunately, it's Given. And so what we see on screen is Alwyn gets hit with the hook. Their head goes flying back, but Given's head is also there and goes a bit further, and he gets hit as well. So he takes part of that damage.
Right.
I would love to know how Given reacts to that, because that's surprising.
He dodges, even though he doesn't need to. And just kind of like, okay, wow, these guys are violent. I could see how they could kill somebody. Be careful.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent advice.
Alwyn's just like, thank you. Wish it no offense, I kind of wish it went all to you because you're already dead.
I don't know how to. He lays on hands.
Please stop touching my chest. That's weird.
Is it working? Okay, sorry.
I can barely see you doing this, but it feels weird.
X is still up on the roof and just now looks really uncomfortable too. On top of everything else, she's like, I don't know what's going on anymore.
So who are you passing this? Well, actually, Casimir. Who's Casimir? Casimir is passing this to Eel. Cause yeah.
Why not?
It was down.
I mean, honestly, there's a certain amount of God. If we're not careful, we may not get another turn. Who knows what Weird Lady's gonna do? Save me from Weird Lady, Eel. You know. You picked some fun, scary spheres. It's cool.
I did, yeah. I love creeping people out. It's my favorite. It's what I'm here for. You ever see me in another stream? It's what I do.
Oh man. Anyway, yeah. Eel doesn't whistle. Eel just bellows, "Get out here!" and just kind of like swings at you, Adarin. He's just kind of going to be throwing down, and so let me do his attack. It's just straight up warfare. He's not trying sorcery or sway or anything. Eel's not subtle, and his weapon is a gutting knife.
Eesh.
Just one of those long, thin, kind of stem to stern. Oh boy. Okay.
I don't like that sound.
I'm gonna bet that a 7 will beat your threshold.
To hit me? My health?
To hit
Yeah. I have 3. And I don't have.
Okay.
I never even have 7 health to begin with. So.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Oh boy. Well, I'm. It's our first game. I don't want to kill anyone, so I'm not going to spend 2 malice to make that an 8 and a critical hit.
Yeah, let's not.
Hey, they have a healer, so.
All right, you talked me into it.
Riona.
Just saying.
There's no like dodge type of thing.
If you have 8 levels of athletics, there is a dodge type of thing.
No, I have 2. I'm not completely useless on my feet.
That's fair. Okay. So have we spent 2 minutes? Okay. That will be 10 points of damage of health threshold.
Do I have any way of mitigating that?
Do you have Forgotten Lore? I believe
I have
you.
1 rank in Forgotten Lore. I also have an 8 in Preparedness.
Right. So you also could flash back and say, I remembered to cast ward, not explosive runes. I remembered to cast ward this morning. And what that would do, it'll be a 1-shot. This attack will knock the ward apart, but
right.
But yes, that would be subtract any armor, which I know is nothing.
Don't have any armor.
But yeah, y'all should. We may want to work on that. And then divide the amount of damage in half. So you would take 5 points of health damage.
That would still knock me out or put me into hurt.
It puts no, because you're.
I spent 2 points of health to resist my corruption.
Correct. Excellent. So yeah. So that puts you hurt. So yes.
I know what I'm doing on my turn.
Okay, sure, I'll do it. So
no, it's okay. So once you're considered hurt and must make a health or morale test at difficulty of 4 to stay conscious. So that's a health test and
but I can do morale.
Yes, you may make a morale test. So yeah, which would be a little easy. That
I have
is
a lot of
sorceress
morale,
willpower.
actually.
Yeah, that's sorceress willpower to go. That's sorceress willpower to go. F you. I'm not passing out.
Yeah.
I'm not listening to my body right now.
Yeah. I will spend 4 points of morale. And I'll roll just to see how well that goes. Then. Well, I got a 3, so that makes it a 7. So I don't know if there's. I don't know if you get bonuses, but you know. So.
yes. You super extra stay awake. Or super extra don't pass out, but that's cool. And
yeah, I think he hits me.
Adrenaline, kicks in. Like, oh boy.
Yeah, so he's trying to gut me with a knife, basically.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool.
And very nearly succeeded.
Yeah. So
you've probably been punctured. I mean,
definitely. I am bleeding.
Yes.
For sure. I think I'll spit at him when he hits him.
Yeah.
I think I'll just spit in his face.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Casimir probably like. I think you made him mad, lady.
And just look in my eyes. He's like, no, you make me mad.
Who are you passing it to? Or no, it's Eel is passing it. Has to pass it to somebody. I'm gonna say passing it to Pax.
Okay.
Question: do we see some of the corruption on your character since you got stabbed?
Probably not yet, because it's like gutting knives are real slender kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I think it's once the combat is over and people are like up on my person helping me. Yeah, I think it's likely you'll see it then, but not right now in the dark with the blood and everything.
Yeah, in shadowy alley. Yeah.
And I wear a lot of black.
Yeah,
wears a lot of black, and it's just like I'm going to cover myself in shadow so no one can see.
Hey, if I can, I would like to use some of my own preparedness to first, before I do what I was thinking about doing, to see if I had to have asked the group ahead of time if they would have been okay with me having a way to get reinforcements should something happen. Like I've done, like we do usually whenever we're infiltrating anything. Okay, so with my ties to, and specifically, of course, the City Watch. Hoping that this goes in our favor, not knowing what Adarin knows yet. I would like to be
I was gonna say, the preparedness is probably you arranging to have the City Watch ready to show up.
Yeah.
Whether they're okay with it or not is just kind of a side effect of yes. You can
but just basically like, if this seems like it's going bad or they're calling reinforcements, do you want me to be like, no, I'm calling reinforcements? So I want to basically have like, as part of the reinforcements, have like a distinctive noted whistle that everybody will know. This means the City Watch are on their way right here, right now. And I want to stand up on the roof, jingle my token in the air that marks me as a member of this, as a informant for the City Watch. I look at Casimir and say, I don't think you should have done that. Can't see my face. And I'm going to blow that whistle as hard as I possibly can and use my connection to the City Watch.
Yep. That is absolutely a thing in Eversync. That is absolutely, there is a City Watch whistle. It used to be a City Watch rattle, but that people couldn't hear that as far, so they changed. But yes, but it's very much exactly like the police whistle you're thinking of from every like Sherlock Holmes or London Bobby movie ever. So yeah, absolutely, yeah. I love Pax doing the Batman on the roof is just fantastic. And like,
and then I want to I'll try to shuffle my way down to whichever of the no thank yous is closest.
Okay. Well,
or
I was gonna say,
no, I have a crossbow. If I can, I don't know if I'm allowed to do any attacks, but if I can, I would like a crossbow.
Yeah, I mean, blowing a whistle, particularly since you prepared this in advance, blowing a whistle is not gonna take away. You can have the whistle between your teeth and fire a crossbow. That's
So I'm just blowing the whistle, and then I want a crossbow. Let's see.
Eel or Casimir?
Can I tell which one looks more like they're hurt? Do either of them look very hurt?
Neither of them are her. Well, a little bit from getting out of the statue. Casimir's probably smaller and closer to going down. I mean,
Casimir was the
less
one
blood
that whistled first, so
yep,
I'm
they
gonna.
have less blood to lose. So I guess if you
Yeah.
make them lose it all, then
Yeah,
I think you win.
Yeah, and
Is
then
that
I'll.
how that works? I don't know. I don't fight.
Yeah, I'll spend a couple of my warfare points to
All right.
hit them.
Perfect.
Do that. Don't fail me. That's a 6. So that's an 8.
Nice. Okay, well that will beat their threshold. And
All right.
and you rolled you rolled a 6, or the 6 is the total.
I rolled a 6, so I got an 8
Okay.
total.
And okay, so very good.
And then I roll.
That
Do I hit?
almost one critical. Just saying, if you wanted to spend a couple of more points of warfare.
If we're gonna do more of a combat, though, I don't.
Fair enough. I'm just saying, if you take some people out, then you start getting those refresh tokens back to 7. I think there are 6 in the bin.
We do have free
There's
fresh
6 in the
points.
bin.
Yeah, we do.
So if I
There's
spend
6 in the
one
bin that you could
more,
grab,
I can
so-
crit. I spend 2 more.
Yes,
You
yeah,
need to
spend
spend 2
you
more.
can
Okay, sure, why not? It's first game. Let's
Okay.
do it. Okay, I'm
crit.
critting.
Bam! All right, critical hit. How you
Small
like that?
angry. Okay, so I do 2 dice.
Yep, you're rolling 2 dice. You have spent a total of 3 warfare points, so that count. I mean, you have to spend 2 to get 1 for after the fact.
I
But
spent 4.
so your
in
minimum,
total.
yes, but you had to spend 2 to get 1 since it was
Yeah.
after the fact. So 3 is your minimum on your die roll.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
And then plus, I think plus 1 for the crossbow, plus 1 or plus 2.
I think both my weapons are +1.
Okay. Cool.
So-
So 2d6 plus 1.
Well, that was I rolled a 6 in total. So
Okay. So roll a 6 plus 1 for the thing. Okay. So
yeah,
7
plus
points
1,
total.
so 7.
Mhm.
yeah.
Fair enough. All right. Casimir is wearing leather armor, so that will absorb 1 of them. Take 6 points. They're not happy. Not happy. But yeah, it's kind of a crossbow. I'm gonna say probably like low in the, like probably below the lungs, but kind of like there's probably intestines there that aren't happy. It's just, there's really not a good part of the body that you can put a crossbow bolt in. Just, humans are not intended as crossbow bolt storage. They are occasionally forced to be, but yes, they are not pleased by this proceeding at all. And obviously, nor is anyone down there happy about hearing the watch whistle. So who are you passing this off to? I think there is 1. So
Gee, I wonder who I'm gonna send it to. Riona.
And Casimir is spending malice to do one of their other abilities, which is extra action. So Casimir is now a legitimate target for initiative this round. They're very quick.
Let me go first.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna let you go first.
Because I can get a Darren out of there. So Riona is going to step out of the bar, which I'm pretty sure she was still in her way.
And you can now hear behind you the scrape of bar stools and chairs being pushed back, and other people getting up and heading in your direction as well. So just
All
tell
right.
me that.
Okay. So I'm gonna step to the side of the door, so I'm not directly in front of it, because I'd rather not be stabbed in the back.
Mhm.
And then I'm going to use sorcery to create vines to pull Adarin away from Eel and beside me, so that she's out of direct range.
Okay. I feel like that's probably maybe an athletics
Sure.
check to just, so that Eel doesn't get a swipe,
Mhm.
attack of opportunity or something. But it's something you could, but absolutely something you could do with sorcery. But I'm gonna
I
say
mean,
though, in this case, the threshold's probably gonna be pretty low. I'm gonna call it like 3.
Alright.
Fairly
Well,
easy to do.
I will spend 1 athletics point because I want to make sure I succeed.
Fair.
Hey, that's a 3.
Nice.
I did it.
So yeah. So basically, I mean, you're close enough to like. I imagine where you're at is not necessarily really solid ground, but more like dockside planking and things like that. So literally, the wood from the ground kind of sprouts and then becomes these long vines and kind of wraps around a Darren and just sort of kind of maybe around the waist in a fair, well, yeah, right.
Probably like under the arms.
I just got okay. It's kind of like it's, the vines think better of it and reach. Anyway, I just got stabbed.
Picking her up and pulling her.
And
over
Darren's like
and setting her down
holding
next
her
to
guts in place.
Yeah, just and sit more close to where Riona is, like just outside the back of the bar, kind of thing. And so now they have the two of you together, and
Can
I think
I
before
also use bind wounds this turn, or do I need to wait till next turn?
I think I'm fine with doing it now.
Cool. I would like to spend 2 points of bind wounds to heal a Darren for 4.
Very nice. And I know we're not quite at the end of the round because Casimir gets to go, but we also are right near where we need to go for breaks. So I'm going to put you all in suspense of what Casimir is going to do to y'all when we get back. And we'll see everybody shortly right after we go to break. Welcome back, everyone. We had an enjoyable break, and we're excited to get back into it. We're gonna do the giveaway here in a second, and we're gonna get right back into initiative because I think I want to finish see what the outcome of this fight, and which of my players gets to die in the first. I mean, not gonna do that, but we'll see how close I could come. Anyway, Casimir is no longer close to Adairn. But Alwyn has not been lifted out of the way by magical vines of awesome and is just like boat hook range. So yeah.
Sorry, Alwyn. It was a Darren's turn this time.
It's what it is.
Magical yoink it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So okay. Fortunately, that's going to. Yep. I will spend another 2. And. So will a 6 will beat the threshold, but not by enough to do anything extra.
Thank God.
Good.
Well, I would again. Your threshold is the same as everybody else. Is the same as most people. 4 is that point, which means a critical hit happens at 9. So, that's not easy to do on 1d6, and they're not spending that much juice to get there. So, and on the damage rolled a 1. So, but because they spent points, it's a minimum damage of this plus the weapon, so it's 4 points of damage.
Oh, cool! I'm right at 0 then.
Cargo hooks are nasty.
I have delayed me being completely knocked out by 1 turn.
Awesome.
All right.
God, everybody at the threshold, love it.
Did you didn't want to you failed the health roll to see if you stay conscious?
No, I had like a ward up previously.
Are you health? What is your health total right
Exactly 0.
Exactly
a perfect
0.
goose egg.
Okay, so once you don't have to until your health and morale drop below 0. You don't have to roll.
Fine.
You don't have to roll to stay conscious. But if he takes 1 more point of damage, a rat bites you. No.
stubbed my toe
Anyway.
really hard on the brick.
However, Casimir is going to choose to send the initiative over to the 6 fishermen that are piling out of the bar.
We watch a good way from the door, right? When I went to talk to Casimir and Eel, we were like a good distance away from the door.
Yeah, you had said that. I
There's
remember
room
that.
for me to be between you and the door, so yes.
Yes. Okay. So I know my players and I have talked about me having to yeet my cat because she likes to be up on the desk. And I have to move my camera for a second. I don't know if you can see my dice tray.
If I fit, I sit.
Do I need to redraw the cat off the desk?
Yes,
No, just leave her. She's so cute.
I'm
She needs
not,
to
Just
roll
roll
the
on the
dice.
desk.
not
You don't need a
moving her.
tray.
I'm not moving her. I can roll on the desk. It's fine. It's just like apparently it is the cat trap.
How
So
thoughts
anyway.
will sit.
So, okay. So these guys are going to kind of group up a little bit that a couple of them are actually 2 of them are going to head over to where, or actually, no, I don't know if Riona will let them. I think all 6 of them are probably going to be in that area because they're going to have to get by you otherwise. So also, I mean, Eel and Casimir are both over there with Alwyn. And I'm going to bet that these guys, drunk as they are going to assume that those 2 can handle him. Because, I mean, Casimir isn't bigger than Alwyn, but Eel certainly is. So, and then there's 2 people right here to punch. So, okay. On the plus side, though, they're not armed with knives.
Well,
So-
that's good. Also, just mentioning, when I moved Adarin, I positioned her on the opposite side of me of the door. So there's door,
Right.
me, Adarin.
I've got it.
Veteran.
So for the purposes of our cheat sheet,
Yeah.
Darren, if you're behind the door like that, you're at a higher level of cover. So you can increase your health threshold by 1.
Cool.
The flip side of that is that the door is cover for everybody else from you to increase their threshold if you try and hit them back.
Right. Okay.
So cover works both ways in that sense. So, okay, cool. They are going to go ahead and do a swing. And the fortunate thing is that I can just roll for them. Okay. Nope. 3 of them hit. Getting a 5, a 6, and a 6. No critical or anything. So that will be a total. That will be 3 individual hits of 3. So if
Okay.
you've got armor, Brianna.
Yep.
I think it's the case. So you subtract armor from each of those 3.
So I take 6 total.
Right, because what's 1 point armor?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So it'd be because I didn't want to give you 9 and you take 1 point armor off and take 8 because that's not right. It's 3
Appreciate
individual
that.
hits. It's 3 individual hits, and so yeah, and there's like just kind of Rihanna's kind of in the middle of this and just kind of blocking most of it. Like, I mean, literally half of them can't even touch you. So with no other targets, they still can. I don't know if that's necessarily because they're drunk but they get to go first, which means they're gonna. So Casimir passed to them. They're gonna pass. That's the end of that last turn. So they're going first this turn, and they are going to then pass it to. I'm going to say probably to Eel.
Damn it.
Wow.
I mean,
that is kind of what happens when you give the enemies a turn.
Yeah,
at
we
the
give
end of
them
the
a
round.
turn. They're just like, okay, and then my friend goes, and then my friend's friend goes.
yeah,
To be
this is-
fair, we do the same thing.
right?
This is also true. We do that.
So, yeah, that one of the things this is the kind of called an elective style of initiative, a popcorn style of initiative. that basically the first person to go is kind of determined by the situation in a very kind of almost powered by the apocalypse kind of thing. Is like, okay, who would be the most logical person to start the fight? Oh, hey, the guy that started the fight by trying to grab everybody with statues. Okay, cool. And then from there, they get to select who goes next, but everybody has to get a choice. So, you know, you're going to usually pick your friends, and you can kind of that way play. I think it's fun because players can then set up combos and things like that they can like in this case, if Darren gets to go before Riona and can kind of negotiate that, they can teamwork and maybe throw some damage and just add dice to Riona's to maybe knock some mooks on their butts. That kind of thing is as for, you know, I think when it was originally invented, it was kind of like, oh, you can do like a Wolverine and Cyclops kind of fastball special combo that random initiative might not let you set up, kind of thing. So I really like their strategy in it too. So, but yeah, Eel is not a big strategic person. He is, however, going to spend some points to try and hit harder. And there. Only spend a 2. Okay. 7 is not a critical. On the other hand, his strength means that his damage is also going to be a 7. How many points of Forgotten Lore did you spend on that ward?
Just one. I have one
Okay,
left.
Then that ward would be gone. So yeah, you could do it again. That is, I mean, you
I
could
would
put
like
it
to
up.
live.
I mean, well, you'll live. You'll just be injured. I mean,
Yeah, I just, I want to be.
I'll just have to spend my next turn healing you.
I just want to be more hurt than badly wounded.
that's fair. Okay. Yeah. So,
Usually good.
so what does this ward look like? I mean,
I think it's.
how is this? Is this the same ward, only just kind of just broken and shattered and reformed from? Or is a statue gonna save your ass?
I think this is a statue. I think this is that like goateed statue.
Mhm.
Seeing Eel try to gut Alwyn and just grabs some knife and redirects it, slashing Alwyn, but it scores the statue itself.
Okay. Yeah, so Alwyn takes some damage, but like the knife like sticks it or kind of scrapes into the statue.
Yeah. I think I'm at -3 now.
Making funerary statues, that's a big no-no.
Listen, Alwyn didn't tell that thing to. It just did it on its own.
That's fair. Well,
Max is
you can ask
crying
it.
in
You can
silence.
say, kind of just like protect me, and the statue has to interpret that. Statues are really great at interpreting instructions. They're well known for doing so. Anyway, very
Make a
good.
roll, right?
No, you don't have to do anything. You sucked up damage and divided the
I'm at
7 in half.
-3
and
now.
took- So you were at 0, and now you're at -. Oh, that's right. Yes, you do have to make a roll to stay conscious, which is just difficulty 4 in this case. And you can, in fact, if you want, spend points of health that you don't have to make that roll.
So I can, instead of being a -3, I can go down to a -4.
You could spend up to 2 more points to get a bonus on that roll without going into the next stage of injured.
Yeah, I risk, high reward. I have one play style. It's making bad decisions.
That's fair. If you want to spend 2 points on that roll, you will be at -5 hurt, but you will have a +2 on the roll.
Make bad decisions. Let the healer clean up the mess.
Yeah, basically. And at 7, I live.
Nice. All right. We stay conscious at -5. You're as hurt can be.
Alan's just like, okay, this was a bad plan. This was a bad plan.
I mean, from a certain point of view, you haven't had a chance to talk with Darren, but this plan definitely worked. You found out a lot of stuff. Just haven't had opportunity
Well,
to share it around the group.
I found out a lot of stuff.
That's fair. That's fair. Somebody knows a lot of things. I can see from Alwa's point of view, this is not a good plan. All right. So how did I get picked for this job? Wait, oh, dang it. Anyway, Eel is, of course, going to pick. Actually, no, Eel is not. Eel is going to pick. I think Eel's going to pick Alwyn.
Thank you.
He's like, come at me.
Yeah.
He's just kind of like, oh, get up.
Alan's just gonna like weakly say, I think you really, really hurt my friend there, and is going to look around and see if there are other statues hanging up top.
I mean, if you wanted the largest, I mean, what are you looking for, and what are your requirements here in terms of statuary?
I'm debating on like, do I want something big? Okay, let me put it this way. My end goal is I cannot leave this alley without someone getting suplexed.
You realize that you are the most likely target of that, though, right?
Listen, if that means me, that means me. But
okay, I'm just saying.
I can do it. I can suplex somebody. You should live.
Well, I'm thinking like, what if I use one of the statues to do that?
I mean, yeah, no, that's that. Yeah, obviously these statues, I mean, again, most of the statues around here are not the big ostentatious ones that you will find closer to the more wealthy parts of the city. There are, however, some fairly large statues, like literally in the harbor, that are like, like past rulers and things like that, like kind of large bronze things.
Yeah. Okay. Oh,
it's gonna attract so much attention.
Oh,
I mean, I'm just saying it's possible. There are statues of all sorts. You could also overwhelm them with a crowd of tiny little wooden statues that are probably in people's houses and just crash through windows, and
Alan is panic.
Whatever nightmare horror movie scenario you can conjure up with little tiny statues attacking. This is very Lilliput. I'm having Gulliver flashbacks, but sure, that's a possibility.
Alan is very scared, has never been this level of injured before, and panics and just
get used to it.
Yep, and just screams out, "Help me, please!" and dumps 2 points of corruption to catch everything. To get the mooks and to grab Eel and Kashmir and put them all out of commission.
Okay, I have a chart for this. Okay, so 2 points of corruption.
Everybody, he pulls out a chart. That's terrifying.
Well, it's just so it is more of you can dump a lot of damage with corruption. You can throw it. You can throw it around. So pretty much everyone within point blank range of you, which would be definitely Casimir and Eel, with this spend, will take a d6 plus 3 damage.
I do have blast as well as a sorcery thing, since I have over 10 at my max.
Yeah, this is over and above your actual sorcery roll. This is from the corruption.
Okay. I am down for this. I'm excited to make trouble. I like to cause problems on purpose.
The trick is that is, and everyone within close range is going to take some damage. Cool. And everyone is within close range. It's because close range is about 10 meters or 30 feet, which is in diameter away from you is this whole little back alley. So that includes Paxadern and Riona.
Even though I'm hiding on the roof?
It's a sphere of corruption.
Boo.
Yeah, it's
am I able to like start the corruption and then opt to like take it in at the end, depending on how well or how poorly this goes?
Oh no, I mean
this is doing area of effects damage.
Yeah.
There is friendly fire is on in the game settings.
Yes. Sadly, yes. Denari's does not have no friendly fire set. It's there are any number
Yeah,
of
this isn't the
additional-
corruption. This is you just doing damage and causing blast.
Oh, I
Yes.
thought
Yeah.
okay, because I'm using 2, it says I can choose my targets in the spell's area of effect.
That's fair. Okay. I think so. I think that would protect from the blast itself. I don't think you have control of the corruption though.
That's fine.
I mean, literally, this is Alwyn letting go and not having control of this. So
This is
Well,
Alwyn
you
terrified.
let me do that though. You let me choose how to
That's
use
right.
when I did
That's
it on the
right.
ship. When I used
okay.
blast,
Yeah. No,
I was
that's
able
true.
to choose to internalize or externalize.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Darn it, because this would have been. Never mind. I was gonna.
God
have
damn it,
fun.
Pulsar! Let us live. It's the first
Ah.
episode.
We like surviving.
We all have backup characters. It's fine, don't we?
No.
I thought
No.
we had plans. With, no. Okay.
I have 3.
Yes, I have 3.
We have
Okay.
backup.
Okay. So on
Introduce
average,
me
yes,
to
everyone-
Darren's twin sister.
Also
Hey,
named
I've-
Darren.
Yeah.
I've even got the names of the rest of your sisters.
It's a Baron
Uh,
this time now.
I mean, well, look, if Cole and Aki have 3 backups each, then on average, yes, everyone has a backup character.
Sure.
Oh gosh. Okay,
The point
so
is to not use them.
So yes, you may select your targets.
excellent. I definitely
There
want to
are-
hit Eel and Casimir.
Fair. Those guys will have the more damage. The drunks will take kind of more other range damage.
Mhm.
Less damage because they're farther out. So unless you go, of course, unless you're specifically choosing to blast them.
Ooh.
But if you're targeting, who are you targeting? Eel or Casimir or?
Both of them.
And okay,
And if I'm able to get, I'd be happy to just get at least 3 of the other guys of the mooks,
okay.
of the fishers.
Well,
And
okay. Here's a thought then. Do you want to spend some of that corruption to make sure you hit, or do you want to put it all into damage? Because if you put it just into hitting, then you're going to mostly just hit Eel and Casimir. And I guess Riona may just have to deal with all 6 of the drunken sailor guys.
you know,
Just being the warrior that she is, I'm sure that'll be just so difficult to deal with a whole squad of drunken idiots.
So hard.
yeah, I think what might end up happening here is Alwyn is focusing on the 2 people that have hurt him the most.
Sure, that's legit.
Okay.
Particularly if this is kind of fear driven. So yeah.
Yeah. So it's +3 for each point of corruption I spend to the roll. Is that right?
Mhm. If you choose to spend a point of corruption on the 2 hit, it's a +3 bonus. If you
Okay.
choose to spend it on damage, it's a +d6 on the damage part. So you spent 2, so you can split that and do both.
I'm going to split that for sure, but I'm going to
Sounds
spend
good.
a point of sorcery as well, just to make sure it's a +4.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's a 10.
Nice. Okay, so target hit is 4, +3 is the second target,
Mm-hmm.
+3 is a third target. So you can get one of the moves.
Cool.
Or Pax of Darren and Riona, but that's your call.
Just one of the
mean, I'm
statues
sure
comes
now-
up and just like slaps Darren on the back of the head. No.
We'd prefer not to get attacked by statues.
Nah, it's gonna basically just be.
Gives you a good game, just kind of
Yeah.
for like 3 points of damage.
But I think how this kind of looks is from the water. There's like a huge vibration. You just see like a bronze gauntlet just pop up on the wood, and then another, and multiple keep coming up, and all these bronze statues just come charging out into the alley, and one just puts an arm bar out and just knocks down one of the guys tackling Riona.
Okay.
And then the other ones and the 2 that were with Eel and Casimir just get swarmed by all these statues and get basically just like get like what's it called, like shoulder lanced down into the ground.
Okay. So let's go ahead and do some damage rolling there.
All right, so it's 2d6 or
It is 2d6
and
plus 1 for sorcery, and a minimum of you spent a sorcery point. You spent a sorcery point, and I think because of the investigative. Yeah, I think your minimum is 4 because you spent the corruption point too.
Ooh.
So.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, that also works. All right, so I'm guessing that was at Eel.
Yeah, Eel was one that did the biggest bit of damage that put me on edge. And then...
Okay, so Casimir, your second target.
So roll another 2d6 plus 1.
Oh.
I love the numbers just flipped. It's 2 10s.
Yeah, it's 3 plus 6 plus 1 equals 10, or 6 plus 3 plus 1 equals 10. I'm having clue flashbacks. It's 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1. Okay. Haha. And talk about some not happy campers.
If that does not take them out, I'm a little upset. I'm not gonna lie.
It does not. They are tough. However, it absolutely takes out the drunkard.
Okay, good.
That armbar, and he's like, ugh. Just like, I mean, pulled, just like an ox. No, I'm not waving at you, Cat. You're fine. Look, it's your choice to be sitting up here in the box where my hands are out here. Anyway, you did this to yourself. Fair enough. Who goes next?
I was going to say, and for the rest of it, the bronze statues lift up Alwyn by the arm and pull them towards the wall, and they're just like holding their cane, just wide-eyed in fear.
Fair enough. And so, getting rid of that dealing with that sorcery. Are we externalizing your corruption?
I think Alan's going to internalize it.
Okay.
Not that much out of control, just like freaking out, going, not again, not again, not again, not again, not again, not again.
I love it.
Also, it's just waiting for one of us to externalize it.
It will happen, I guarantee him. Alan's probably going to be the one who doesn't.
Yep. Okay. So if you choose to internalize your corruption, you need, okay. So here's the kicker. To internalize corruption, you need to make a health test. Difficulty of 5 in this case. If you succeed, the change is very small, and someone would have to look for it. If you fail, the physical change to your body is noticeable, and you write it down on your character sheet.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah, I'm just going to roll that d6.
All right. You sure you don't want to spend any health and go, all right.
But even lower?
I mean, it's either Alwyn passes out in damage or Alwyn looks even stranger.
After the fact, you could spend 2 to hit that target number. It would take you down to -7 and you'd be badly wounded, but it's a possibility.
Tell you what, let me roll a dice.
Further in negatives you go, the harder it is for me to heal you.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the other side of that. So yeah.
Odds I do it, tails evens I don't. Okay, yeah. Alan will spend 2 points to make it to 6, and basically just eyes roll back into the head. And do I need to make another
to stay conscious? Yeah, but this can be a morale check to stay conscious.
Okay.
So that is definitely easier.
Mm-hmm. That's another d6, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you don't have to spend yourself into oblivion to get there.
If you give me a resource, I'm not going to wait till the final boss.
I'm going to stay conscious. Yes, but you spent enough health points to be dead, so you're conscious, but... And then Given high fives you.
Yeah, I'm going to spend 2. I got a 6 on consciousness.
Nice. Okay. So you're like, oh, this sucks. This sucks so much. Who's next on the hit parade, Alvin?
I gotta go with the easy one. Riona, please. God help.
So you're conscious, but you are how hurt?
-7.
You're -7.
Okay. But you got a statue to pull you out of the way.
Yeah, I've pulled myself towards the wall, so I'm a little safer.
Okay.
And there is just like a flurry of bronze statues and wooden statues, just basically like kicking at the ground where Eel and Casimir got tackled down to.
Okay. So can I target Eel if I am surrounded by other people?
I mean, yes, but you're not doing anything to. To use Magic the Gathering terms, you're not doing anything to affect the board in front of you. So you're tapping. You would be tapping yourself down, and your opponent has all their creatures up. So yeah.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
You may have to take 6 to the face, but that's okay. You know, life total's a resource.
I would like to use Tactics of Death, and I would also like to refresh it because of my drive to protect people. And Alwyn is in
Nice.
trouble.
Yep.
And I'm going to protect him, and I'm going to use Tactics of Death to get a bonus to my attack on Eel. And I'm going to use a couple points of Warfare to do extra damage. All right. So that's a +5.
Nice. Okay. Well,
That's going to be 9 to hit.
that is a critical hit. Assuming you're okay. Hang on. So that would be a 9 if Eel is your single target. Now, you can also for the say, okay. In theory, if you wanted to hit a lot of people, you could hit Eel, and then for 9 get 1, almost 2 other people. Or if you give up hitting Eel and just get the mooks or get the sailors, then your target number is 3. So 10 will get 3, 6, 9. You get 3 out of 5 of them.
I'm going to specifically target Eel.
Okay, that also works. Fair enough. Then yes, you will definitely and roll damage. You've got so how many points of Tactics of Death do you spend? One for the +3. Okay.
Yeah.
But you still get 2d6 in damage because you got a critical, and then minimum is you spent 2 points of warfare. 1, yeah. So minimum 2 plus whatever your weapon is. So I think it's a sword.
Bow.
Nice. Okay.
That's
That'd
going to
be
be
good.
13 damage to Eel.
Nice. Okay. So to give you an idea, you know, in a previous edition of Dungeons and Dragons, they had a condition called Bloodied that doesn't exist anymore. But there is still a thing where an enemy is reduced to less than half of their hit points, and it's just makes this big chunk of words that means that they're bloodied. That was a while ago. That was before you hit him. Now he's somewhere between that and done. Most of the way towards done. Who'd you like to go next?
I'll let Pax go next.
Nice. Okay. So yes, down below. Actually, before that though, so what does this look like? This is like, I mean, peppering with arrows, or just, I mean.
Is he down like on the ground?
That'll probably stagger him. Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I would be staggered by that.
Did the statues knock him down?
Didn't because it didn't try and put that condition on them.
Okay.
But But yeah, I
Gonna
mean,
sit him.
basically, probably knocked down, yes, but there's been enough time for him to get back up because it's
Mhm.
not like 5-second rounds.
Mhm. So it's just gonna be a really well aimed shot at him. Riona doesn't say anything. She just ignores the guys around her and just pinpoint snipes him.
Nice. Just kind of a step back and
Mhm.
Legolas's butt. I gotcha.
Only not his butt.
Well,
I'm aiming to kill him.
fair. But you know, you can get to the butt through the heart. It's just kind of here and down, just kind of
Sure, if that's what happens, sure.
something. Yeah, it's aiming up. I was trying to shoot him in the butt through the top of his head. And that is a good point. Consider so Rihanna, you do get to choose next, but in addition to Pax and Adarin, and I guess yeah, I think that's it. There's also the City Watch that is a choice for someone to go in initiative order. If you want to just put more people in the mix here. What's all this then? God, God, no, I'm not going to do that. They're not going to talk like Bobbies.
I will say that I would prefer to go before the City Watch. Anything,
Fair.
whatever else happens, that I personally would like to go before the City Watch. But
Maybe.
whatever beyond that.
So I'll still pick Pax, and then
Okay.
Aki can pick whoever.
Then I'll let you go so that you can do things.
The watch.
before
Then the watch
okay?
can go last. Nice.
So, again, gonna do another note on the whistle, just like
Mhm.
urgency indicated.
So
'cause
both,
I
I
see
would
that-
say, yeah.
What?
Both Casimir and Eo look very hurt. There are 5 drunken sailors. There's one completely unconscious, but the other 5, Riona has completely disrespected by shooting somebody else in their face while they're trying to beat her up. You know, just like, hey, lady, we're fighting. It's like, yeah, no.
Yeah, I think, see, just real quick, I think before like seeing Riona aim for Eel, I think Adarin's gonna like shout out like, don't kill them, they're more useful alive.
I don't think there's a way for me to non-lethally pierce someone with an arrow or a crossbow bolt, is there?
You can aim for an arm or a leg.
Yes,
Yeah.
I traditionally the knee.
Yeah, I was gonna say, ruin somebody's knee.
An arrow straight to the knee.
They will never be
then-
the same again.
I
Yeah.
used to be a fisherman like you.
I used to be a sentinel like you. And they got an arrow to the knee. Okay, I am going to continue focusing on the same one person, one track by one at a time. Well, unless you'll look significantly more hurt than
So yeah, fair
You
enough.
just took an
Well,
arrow.
percentage wise, I mean, their health bar is probably about the same. I don't know. It's
On a
hard to
scale from
it's hard to see on this UI. I mean, it's
I'm looking for on a scale of I'm totally fine to so about as a script
right.
as I can get.
Yes, they're about to do the transformation to the second form, and the music changes for the combat. And but we haven't gotten to the part where Latin comes in, so you're probably okay.
Yeah, we're just gonna keep focusing
But yeah,
on
if you
Casimir.
yeah, Casimir, that's fair.
Aiming for something that'll put them down in like the sense of they can't keep doing things, but not in the sense of they are no longer. I will be able to talk to them as a ghost.
Well, I mean, you get to interrogate him either way.
I mean, yeah, I would like to interrogate them where everyone else can see them.
Just more convenient that way.
A little
Sure.
more convenient,
Mhm.
a little bit less weird. There's a weirdness that comes with,
Just
talking to
less
ghosts.
work. It's just less
Yes.
work to have to.
Yeah.
pass along what they're saying. Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. Let me do a thing then.
But yeah, basically, yeah. As far as Gumshoe goes, is when you take someone out. I generally assume it's non-lethally unless you tell me you're trying to kill them.
Okay.
Or the situation is obvious, like I'm gonna drop a building on them. Okay. Or they get absorbed in some kind of bizarre, gross flesh tangle or something like that would be just bad, that kind of thing.
Wow. Anyway, I'm gonna spend my last warfare point to try a little harder to make sure I hit Casimir. So, well, not that it mattered. That was a 7.
Okay, that is definitely going to hit. And damage
So,
plus
damage
crossbow
+1.
plus 1. Mhm.
Okay,
Crossbow plus 1, so
that'll be 5 damage.
yeah. Okay. Fortunately for them, they have armor, so it's
Boo.
only 4 damage.
In the back of the leg. Because apparently that's where I like to hit people. Is in the back of the legs.
All right. Yeah, back of the leg with a crossbow bow does put them on their knee. Just
That would
kind of like
be very
that's
painful.
that leg is not holding them up. They're not
Yeah.
they're not deceased or unconscious.
But it
But-
hurts.
They're not happy.
And then I go back to like semi-protected just so I could just see everybody out the, over the edge of the roof. But I'm still do not
Fair enough.
perceive the munchkin on top of the building.
Yep. Okay. Yep.
Who's been blowing a whistle?
Got it. Yes,
Yeah.
got it. Not Batman, Green Arrow. Got it. You have failed this city. Fair.
I mean, pretty sure Pax gets told that on a weekly basis.
Aw.
That was his tagline for the first season on the CW, right? It's like you have failed the city, therefore I'm shooting you with an arrow. I mean, that's just like, oh, all right, extreme. Anyway, who's going next? You have Adarin or the City Watch.
I'm gonna let Adarin go first because, plans. Hey, when I
That's
blow this
fair.
whistle, y'all better be ready because the City Watch is gonna be here, and I've told them to stay nearby because I had a feeling there'd be problems.
Yeah, when the plan goes bad, I pull the emergency whistle out and fair enough.
Oh heck, whistle!
Oh heck, whistle.
So
I love it.
I would like to first use my preparedness to have a
Mhm.
flashback to where
Mhm.
I said we should wear masks or disguise our identity. And that Adarin's been wearing the mask like this the whole time.
Absolutely.
That she can't be identified.
Mhm.
And that Riona and Alwyn did something to disguise their appearance. I don't know,
yeah.
maybe we caked a ton of makeup on Riona's face so that her facial tattoos weren't visible.
Heavy contour.
I mean, just real thick powder on there,
Right.
cover up those tattoos. Or
If the
did something.
eyeshadow is dark enough, it will draw attention away from.
Yeah, gave Alwyn a different hat to wear or something.
Sure.
So that our identity is harder to tell, a lot harder.
Can't pick them out of a lineup. Yeah, there you go.
And I think I will hear the sounds of city guard, their feet kind of tromp, 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 tromp around and I'll be time to go. And I would like to use sorcery to create shadows around us, around the party. So that we can't really be seen and it's just really confusing.
I mean, there is such things as traveling through shadow with shadow sorcery and things like that from one
I
shadow
don't know
to
if
another.
other people can do that. I don't know
Well,
if I can take other people with me and have them be unharmed.
You'd have to yank them through. It'd be a sorcery roll, and it might be difficult, but anyway, yeah, you can certainly
my
make it a
overall
very, very
goal here
shadowed
is
alley.
to just make it very confusing as to what is happening. And
Nice.
that
Okay.
essentially when the city guard come and they mop this up, nobody could really say what's happening with any consistency, so the guards will assume that it was a drunken brawl in the alley.
Well, given that 6 people in the alley are drunken brawlers. That's fair.
Yeah, it's kind of, it was like, my goal here is to just create enough confusion amongst enough people that even if Eel and Casimir do tell the truth, like, they won't be believed. Because, yeah, some creepy lady stepped out of the shadows and, like, freaked us out, and then another guy made statues move around. That's not believable.
Someone shot them.
Yeah, then there were arrows flying from the roof. That's come on. This is Everseek, not a adventure novel, kind of thing.
Fair, love it. All right, sounds good. So, I guess basically kind of creating a situational modifier with darkness. I like it. That okay. So I feel like I don't think there's necessarily corruption spend here. That it's
like
more
it's
of,
shadows. I'm just making the shadows darker and thicker and harder to see what's going on. It seems pretty straightforward.
Essentially, giving everyone a stealth modifier that will be off. The watch officers will have to offset that with their own alertness modifier, kind of thing, to figure out what they can see and what's what.
I want
what's
it to
all
be
this stuff.
specifically kind of like around the party so that we can't be seen. But like the brawlers can
so
like
that would
be
so
fighting
just
each other.
increasing your stealth modifiers. That's absolutely.
But then the
fair.
guards, when they show up, will immediately see people fighting and go after them, and they not see us, kind of thing.
Yep, I'd be interested to hear what kind of story Eel gives to the cops. Fair enough.
Should I
think I think give me a sorcery roll. I'm gonna say, let's call it a threshold of 3.
Okay.
I mean, you've got it's already kind of shadowy here. You get gone at night, so.
All right. I'm gonna spend 3 sorcery then.
Nice.
We use refresh tokens during the break, chat. That's how we can do all this stuff again. Oh, nice. I rolled a 6 plus the 3 makes a 9.
9. Very good. Okay. So I'm going to just kind of just as a flat, give everybody like a flat, well, not flat, but a +3 to stealth for everyone. It's also now, but that, I guess the flip side of that is it's not easy for you to see each other. But you've only, because it's sorcery.
I don't know.
Yeah.
To make that so there was, because it's magic. They're magical shadows. And I got a 9.
Yeah, okay.
Darren can see through them.
Yeah, exactly. Darren can see everybody. Darren's fine. It's her magic. But everybody else has a +3 stealth modifier that includes to each other.
Okay, I was picturing more like almost like a barrier around us. Like,
okay, all right.
Like,
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. I can buy that. That's fine. I'm not planning on using it against you. It's one of those of like, okay.
Yeah. And like I can see through the shadows just fine to see what else is out there, but they can't see past the shadows.
Right. As the other party members, like, shadows have just surrounded me. This is probably a Darren. Okay.
Yeah. And I will turn and I will look and I'll be like, put the statues back.
Put the thing back where it came from, or so help me.
And we need to go. And that's directed at Riona and like the general area where Pax is presumed to be.
Pax is already scrambling backwards on the roof. I was at the front. I don't know what you're talking about.
Love it. Okay, fair enough. I guess the only person left in initiative order are the watch officers. And though, I mean, they're actually there's probably only 4 of them. Because, but they are armor. They've got kind of basically leather armor and big old truncheons, which is essentially a baseball bat with metal studs in it. Very useful for beating the hell out of people. And yeah, it's kind of, they kind of get into the alley and then skid to a stop at the edge because it's very difficult to see anything. And yeah, I guess. Who would they choose to start the next turn? If they wouldn't really make a conscious choice, I'm going to actually choose Pax because Pax is the closest affiliate to the City Watch here. But they're not like looking up at you and going, "Hey, what's up?" or anything. It's just I have to pick somebody in initiative order. So start the turn, Pax. What are we going to do?
Okay. I don't suppose there's a way for me to remove the shadow from myself. Is there?
I feel like it's not really at you though, because you're so far up. It's more just like around the three of us.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay.
Because you can kind
I'm
of
gonna-
disappear from the scene without any help.
Yeah. Going back to the whole thing of I'm truly a murderer. Y'all need to be on standby in case this goes south. I'm gonna shimmy my way to the edge and say, one of these I think is the murderer. But they started a fight for no reason in the alley because they're drunk. And I'm gonna use my trustworthiness to try to convince them what's going on.
Fair. Okay. I mean, well, sure. I got it. Yeah. That is a fine spend. Yeah. They're like, because you've already pulled out the badge.
Yeah, if I'm getting to the edge, I've pulled the coin back out, so it's like dangling
Yeah,
whatever
the
lights
investigator
left.
coin.
Yeah,
the
somebody started.
badge of office for an investigator of Denari is a coin.
Yeah. Just,
Again, goddess of commerce. What do you want for nothing, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah.
Don't quite know what happened, but the guy with Charlotte is drunk. He's over there, gesturing to Eel.
Okay.
And yeah. And then like there's a slight glance for like just a moment towards the party of like a sorry look as it's like I don't know these people. I don't.
Fair, but I mean they can see Eel relatively clearly compared to everybody else because, yeah, I think so.
Because they know I can talk.
I think I think maybe for should y'all make a piggyback roll on stealth to avoid being noticed by the watch? I think
Sure.
probably if somebody would like to do that. Who's got the?
Don't know if I can really help because I'm not.
I have 4 in stealth. I think it's the highest.
Fair enough. I think that's probably you then. And
Yeah,
then-
and we've all got a +3 for my
And
shadows.
yes, so yeah, exactly. You've all got a +3, but everybody would have to spend points from their pool. Alwyn, Riona, would spend 1 each to piggyback onto the roll. If you don't have any pool points in stealth to spend, that makes the roll 2 points more difficult. So, who's got no
2
points
now.
in stealth?
I have point in stealth now. Point in stealth now. Because I put it in when we advanced.
Yay! Smart.
Like, I need this.
SMRT smart. Alwyn, do you have a point in stealth to spend?
I do.
Fantastic. Okay, cool. So in that case, you're rolling, and the threshold you're trying to beat, they have an awareness modifier of 1, so the threshold you're trying to beat is a 4. You've got a +3 on the roll, so you can spend points out of your stealth pool if you want to, but with the +3, I don't think you need to.
What was the target?
The target number is 4.
4. Okay. So I can't fail basically. If I roll a 1 +3 is a 4.
Correct. So I wouldn't
yeah.
necessarily, I wouldn't spend anything, and I wouldn't actually roll because your minimum is going to succeed unless you'd like to try and critically succeed.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and critically succeed. Why not? Well, I didn't. I rolled a 1, so it's a good thing we had a plus. Good thing we had a
Good thing
+3.
we had a bonus. Yeah.
That
good thing we
die
put
needs
some-
it needs a nap, so it's gonna go over here to take a nap.
Yeah,
Bad
good-
dice. In
Good thing
dice
we
jail.
had
No, it's not
sorcery.
bad. It's tired and needs a break. We don't
I like
punish
that
our
better.
dice. They're
A
overworked.
union improved break for all dice.
They're
Right.
overworked and they need a break because we care about our dice and we take care of them.
That's right.
Good.
No,
I like
no
that
dice
better.
jails. No dice jails.
It's
here.
dice
Just
snap.
No, you get it. You
Just-
get a nap and a snack and a rest.
dice rehabilitation.
Take care of our dice's mental health.
That's right.
Yes.
Take care of your dice. Your dice will take care of you.
Exactly.
Fair enough.
I'm not dead, right?
That's correct. So yeah, they're basically gonna try and go over and try to arrest Eel, and by arrest I mean beat with truncheons. And then so Pax, the Pax, and you pass it to Adair? No. So who's next? I gave it to Pax. Pax, who's next?
Get to all when to get rid of these statues.
Yeah, I'm gonna I'm gonna send it to Owen, and like there's a very pointed look of get these out of here. But it's like the like
It's
when
the
your
mom
mom's looking
look.
at you from across the room in the middle of
Say,
the
I don't-
party, the
I will say, I don't think
Stop what you
Alwyn is
did.
looking at anyone, just like looking at the ground and is trying to crawl away and just says, go ahead and head back. Just go ahead and head back. And you see like the wooden statues like climb up the side of the building and take their position back. The one that got hit earlier still with the gash in it. And all the bronze statues all like march down the alleyway. And then in rows of 3, all do like a perfect dive back into the water.
like synchronized swimming.
Yeah.
I love it.
And
Hex
meanwhile,
cringes.
Alwyn is
Just
like
one at a
crawling away.
time. Just blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Alwyn is just like crawling away in the shadow, still bleeding horribly. Tears running down their face, just like, this is what I signed up for. This is why I'm never a face. This is why I'm never a front man. And just like
Wow.
keeps until they're out the alley and away.
Rolled me a 1. So officers.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, him didn't work.
We lost our GM. Anarchy, go. Everyone play.
We all succeed, and then you're
GM
all
down.
magically healed, and everything is good, and they don't remember our faces. There's no consequences.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, chaos reign. Okay, bye.
Yeah, no, keep going. Keep going.
I said everything's good.
Yeah, no, yeah.
We
sure.
all live happily ever after.
No,
I
they
didn't say
did-
that.
I am.
Somewhere in Pulsar's brain, a clock ticks.
Ticking a problematic clock.
But yeah, Alwyn is trying to get out of there. What do you want me to roll?
Oh, you no,
rolled
you
it?
can kind of honestly, the way Sag Harbor is kind of built, that it is built in a very haphazard fashion. I can imagine there's probably at some point a gap or something between where the boardwalk is and like the next building up on planks, so you could probably easily get out of this ass dumping yourself in the harbor. Now,
Don't make Rihanna fish you out.
Yeah.
dumping yourself in the harbor is
It's gonna hurt.
I'm not gonna
That's
do
gonna be
that.
salt water in your wounds.
Also, I'm just
and-
thinking like I live in Baltimore, and I'm just like picturing somebody with a gaping wound jumping into the harbor and like immediately dying of septic shock or something.
I mean,
That-
I mean, Riona would tell you that generally it's a bad idea to go swimming in Eversink.
Alwyn wouldn't go
just-
swimming. Alwyn is just trying to get out of the alley and away. And like
Well,
as soon as
I
they
mean,
like turn the corner, they're like
you can-
standing up and
Okay, fair enough.
Hobbling away.
Yep. All right.
they were told the last thing they heard was get the fuck out, and they are getting the fuck out, going home and going to bed. This was all a terrible dream.
Okay. Yeah, it's fair. No, it's just like, all right. Alwyn pieces out. At least heading somewhere. Fair enough. But who is Alwyn passing the initiative to?
Alwyn is going to pass the initiative to yes,
Sure, Darren.
Darren. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's still 5 drunken brawlers, Eel and Casimir. I mean,
I'm gonna
pass it to the brawlers. I'm kidding.
I'm gonna like
dear.
shadows. I want to get out of the shadows and go right after Alwyn because I think I see him like I realize
yeah.
just how badly he's injured.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna grab and be like, okay, you're fine, don't worry, you're fine, and I am
Yep.
gonna shadow step out of there with him.
Alwyn, you can actually like see multiple tears and just like very visibly in pain and like almost mewling the entire time.
I really got stabbed. Like,
Yeah, and
badly.
Darren's being like actually like okay, like business like and to the point, but like being kind at the same time. She's like
Mhm.
trying to reassure, like you're okay, you're alive, you're gonna make it, it's okay. And I'm just gonna shadow step out,
Okay.
and I don't know how far I can travel with shadows.
The farther you want to go, the harder it is.
I would
mean,
like to shadow step to like a discreet doctor I know and just kind of show up at their clinic.
That would be.
You could
a
take him to
long-
Riona's.
Yeah, I was thinking more
I mean,
like in feet, not as in miles, not in miles.
Not as the
but,
districts.
I mean,
Well.
yeah.
Maybe somebody I've heard of who runs some kind of clandestine clinic here.
Well, I mean,
But he's
I mean,
used to
in-
having
let's
to
see.
deal with drunken brawl victims.
Yeah, I don't. So the thing is that
in
Riona's
Sag
not
Harbor.
there, and I'm a little worried that Alwa's just gonna like clunk over dead. Riona's not currently at her home. At her clinic.
I mean, okay. So one of your options is a place called the House of Broken Wings, which is kind of an orphanage and hospital. Let me. That's
Yeah.
in Sag Harbor, and is sort of close to a medical type thing. It's also kind of in the style of, I don't know, Arkham. But
I mean, do I think that they're able to like get him stable enough that he's not gonna immediately die?
I mean, yeah, they can do
Okay.
medical care there. It's an asylum, but they can do medical care.
If they've
there.
got a hospital component to it, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I will take him there.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, the front desk is a little shocked and surprised, I guess. They're you know,
Do you need me to roll for this or?
for sorcery, honestly, I don't think so. There's not really. I
Okay.
mean, it's one of those that if necessary, Darren could do it in a bunch of short hops too, right?
Yeah.
So or I mean, actually, you know what? Maybe instead of that, how about something along the lines of someone you would know. Let's see. And we've also got.
What about my Thieves Guild contact?
That's what I was thinking. Something along those lines. Yeah, the
I could just like
contacts that you've
show
got,
up
so-
to where I know that person is and be like, "Hey,
Mhm.
need help here."
Or yeah, I mean that there's probably again probably not necessarily. I mean, there's probably a place in Sag Harbor. Actually, yes, I know exactly where you would wind up going to find
Okay.
that contact, and that is a place called Roscoe's Fight Club. It is basically a pit. It's a pit fighting club,
Okay.
but we don't talk about it. So, but they have to. I mean, they certainly got to provide medical care for the people who are fighting in the pit. So,
Right.
yeah, and you can meet your contact there, and yeah.
Yeah, I think
So-
I'm gonna twist my signet ring around so that like the signet is facing inside, so
I
it's
mean,
not immediately obvious.
that a representative of the Ligorio House is showing up at Fight Club. I mean, you have enough levels of scurrilous rumors to know that lots of well-off and well-connected people show up at Fight Club.
Right, but they do that.
To
They don't
attend.
call it attention to themselves as much as
Well, there's-
possible. Yeah.
There's a lot of like the opera style masks and things like that in booths and things like that. The kind of the upper deck.
I think I'm
kind
gonna
of-
try and rely more on like between the mask and my signet ring and like just general chaos and try to just like blend
Sure.
in a little bit more rather than be like, I'm obviously high society, pretending I'm not
Fair.
here. You
But,
know,
I
that
mean,
kind
but,
of
you
crap.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's kind of one of those. There's a lot of people that do similar kind of things. They go incognito, and
Yeah.
also the staff. The staff will not acknowledge that you are there if you don't want them to acknowledge that you are there. Kind of situation.
Essentially,
anyway.
yeah. And I will just like beeline right to the
Yeah.
medical people, like, need your help right now. Thank you.
Got it.
Just like knock people out of the way with an elbow.
I feel like okay. I think we can cut away from Darren and Alwyn then, and who's next in initiative order? 'Cause that's a whole nother scene that we'll do.
Let's go with Riona. Let Riona
Fair.
get out of there.
So did we establish that Rion and Alwyn can see through the shadows or no?
Yes, you can.
We
Yeah,
can? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I could have
yeah,
seen them leaving.
It's a stealth bonus, but not. Yeah, you're sneaky,
Awesome.
not blind. Blind would be imposing a different condition. So yeah.
Yeah, that would have been problematic because then I probably wouldn't actually be leaving. Because I wouldn't have had a way to know that Alwyn and Darren are out.
Yep.
How easy would it be for me to climb up onto the roof from where I'm at.
Athletics check.
Cool.
I
I'm
mean-
gonna do that.
I mean, you could probably parkour up there from here. I mean, all right.
I'll just spend a point of athletics for good measure.
All right. Give me that check. Boom, boom.
That's a 2.
Uh-oh. Okay. So yeah, you're attempting to parkour up, but the crate that you put your foot on just disintegrates under your legs. You're on the you've got your hands on the roof. You could pull yourself up.
Yes, I would like to. I would like to make use of the chaos and pull myself up.
All right. Who's going next that might be able to take a shot at you? So I think Pax, Adair, Alwyn, yeah. Drunken Louts, Casimir, or Eel get one shot at you before you can pull yourself up all the way up to the roof. I could recommend the Drunken Louts, but yeah.
I'm actually gonna say eel.
Okay. Nice. Fair enough. All right. Not as good at this. He's going to try and throw that knife. Okay. I'm going to bet, since I didn't spend any malice, any juice. A 1's not going to hit you.
That is correct.
So yeah, that knife just kind of spangs on the wall and doesn't even hit point first. It hits handle, not even handle first either. It's just like flat against the knocks into the ground, and he's just like, damn it. He's like, oh.
Riona just ignores that.
It just kind of pulls up and kind of vanishes into the shadows.
Mhm.
Okay, fair enough. I feel like we've basically got everybody out of the scene. Fair enough.
So to speak, I still kind of there.
Yeah, I mean,
But you can
well,
leave
do
safely.
you want to take control of the crime scene, Pax, or do you want the let the watch do their job and kind of
Oh no.
disappear and let them fill in their own reports?
I'm the informant. I am not a cop. I am cop adjacent. I've done my job. I said there is a crime, fix it, and I'm just gonna.
Okay, there you go. The consultant has pointed you at the crime.
Look,
Consultant's
here
job
is
is
the crime.
done.
Goodbye.
I love that Pax is like, I'm not a cop. And then all the sorcerers she goes around with are like, you're a cop.
She's totally got.
She's totally a cop.
We're all sorcerers. This is our cop friend. I'm not a cop.
She's a cop, basically.
I love it.
Top adjacent,
Oh,
technically.
All right. So yeah, I think that is a good place, and we'll kind of get everybody together at the beginning, I think, of next episode of Denari's Half Dozen, and because we're running time wise. But yeah, I've had a whole lot of fun. I really hope everyone else has too. It has been a really fun time getting places with some of our combat rules and some fun magic stuff. But yeah, more to come. Welcome to our inaugural episode. I had the best time.
That was so much fun.
Yeah, it
That
was.
was amazing.
So I guess this is the point at which we do outros. We'll go around. I'll start with myself, I guess. Hi, I'm Commander Pulsar. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Commander Pulsar. On Sunday afternoon, I do Lego brunch where we build Legos. Like currently, we are working. I'm not going to pick it up. I'm going to move the camera. But currently, we are working on the Millennium Falcon. I mean, no, seriously, the Millennium
big
Falcon.
one.
Big
the Millennium
Falcon.
Falcon. Yes. Anyway, working on that. It is a huge project, and we have been spending a good bit of time and having a great time doing it. But every week we get together and build Lego projects. I've got that. I have the Titanic coming up later in the summer. We also have the DeLorean from Back to the Future to build. That's going to be fun. Also looking at maybe Saturday mornings being bad at Magic and just playing some MTG Arena on stream and losing, because that generally seems to be how things go, because I'm not good. Anyway, but that's the thing. And I guess the other place you can find me is a little website called startplaying.games, where I run games professionally. On Wednesday nights, we're running a game of Root, the TTRPG from Magpie Games, which is also super fun. It's powered by the apocalypse, where you get to be cute little woodland animals trying to kill one another. And yeah, we're also doing some other stuff there. So that's where you can find me. Who's next? I choose an initiative order. I'm going to choose Kitty.
All right, I'm Kitty. You can find me on Twitter as Wizardly Kitty, as well as Instagram, also Wizardly Kitty. You can find me here on Twitch as Caffeinated Kitty. I'm not streaming yet, but eventually I'll be starting art streams, so that's going to be fun. You can also find my artwork at deviantart.com/caffeinatedkitty. And yeah, I'm an artist. I do fantasy maps. I paint miniatures, which is a lot of fun, and I do commissions. So, yeah. Aki.
Okay, sorry, I'm just taking a message. Hi, my name's Aki. Again, I can be found usually here a few times a week at It's Aki, all one word. Streaming a variety of games just during the week. It's either right now Skyrim or Mass Effect 3. Then on the weekends I play Lego Star Wars. Oh, I'm trying my. I do that a lot. Then you can find me on most socials as It's Aki. I crochet, I play games, and I cry a lot. So yeah, that's what I do. I'm gonna send it to Stephanie.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Allen. I am half of Charm Person Games. We are a queer women-owned professional game master for hire service based out of Baltimore, but we also do online. You can book with me or my business partner, Natalie, at charmpersongames.com. You can find me/us on Twitter, because I don't have a personal Twitter because I don't like Twitter. But you can find us professionally at Charm Person Game singular because of character limits. And in addition to that, I also make overlays and promotional images and things of that nature, Discord emotes and such. So you can reach out to me on Discord or Twitter if you're interested in that. And you can catch me this Thursday night over on my friends at Carrying Comfort Studios, where I am playing in an actual play of Yozeba's Bed and Breakfast. I play the delightfully chaotic Hey Kid, which is a role I feel like I was born to play. And you can catch us on Thursdays at 7:30. And this Thursday, we are going to be going live with Jay Dragon themselves, the writer of Yozeba's Bed and Breakfast. So it is sure to be an extra special and delightful episode. I hope you'll join us. Cole.
Hi, yes, I am Cole, aka Ice Cold Brew. I guess the next thing that's coming up for me is this Sunday at 2 p.m. We are going to 2 p.m. EST. I will be on this channel again playing Fire in the Dark, aka our Blades in the Dark actual play, with the wonderful Jamie Wolf and another wonderful cast of amazing people. After our terribly well-planned prison break-in and breakout. And then outside of that, on Monday, catch me and my partner playing Elden Ring. We're currently going through that, and who knows, I'll have other stuff in the works. Follow me on Twitter at Ice Cold Brew. Follow these wonderful folks at their Twitters. !cast. Yeah.
Bot understands vocal commands, right?
See, it works.
God, yes. No one teach my Google Home how to do Nightbot commands, please.
But now that you've told me not to.
But then your Nightbot commands might actually work.
!sorry. It just says the sorry from Happy Cap Stream.
Nice. God.
Oh, my goodness.
Let's see, who's next?
Yeah.
I think
That's
we're
everyone.
done.
Yeah.
Is that everybody? Yeah, it is everybody.
That's us.
Yay.
Is
We
our
got the
omniscient
whole
voice
crew.
going to
I
come
love
in
how
and
chaotic
talk
our
about what's
outros
new on
are.
the channel? Like,
Yeah, so omniscient producer here. Look, I couldn't tell everybody went. Sue me. Don't sue me, please. I can't afford it. But yeah, so for Huntsman's Hydra, I don't think we have MTG tomorrow because we're short on players. So probably be something going on in either AshenWorks or Jamie Wolf's channels. And then catch us on Sunday, as Cole said, for Fire in the Dark, episode 2 at 2 p.m. Eastern. And then I announced it over on my channel, AshenWorks, but we have another show in the works, Lore of Etheria, which will be coming in at the end of the month. And that is a D&D campaign using the Alchemy RPG virtual tabletop. So be sure to check that out. All that being said, you can find all of our wonderful casts using the cast command that just got posted. And you can support the show on Ko-fi and Patreon. Proceeds from both go to cast moderators and then somewhere way down the line myself. So be sure to check all that out. I think the command for both of those is members. There we go. But yeah, with all that being said, we are going to raid over to So Many Games, who is doing episode 1 of a Star Trek adventure, which seemed fun. So we'll go ahead and get that started. As a heads up, the channel is for mature audiences, which I think ours is too. So, like, you know, the Yush. But go give them a warm welcome and let them know that the Huntsman's Hydra may be closed, but we're here to stay. And
Absolutely. Maddie just doesn't not cuss.
Yeah.
Big mood. Big mood.
Big mood.
Me every day.
Big mood, me every day. Anyways, I'm going to throw us to the ending screen. Good seeing y'all, and catch you next week for more Denaris if you don't catch us anywhere else.
Thank you, Space Cadets. It's been great. We'll see you next week.